Hello, everyone. Ari Bluestein here, the CEO and executive producer of the Sports Fan Base Network, and welcome to another edition of SFBN Classics. And we've already shown some good high school football games from the fall of 2013 with Archbishop Wood versus St. Joseph's Prep and also LaSalle versus Imhotep. But today, we show you the rivalry, LaSalle College High School versus St. Joseph's Prep. And this is from the fall of 2014. And you'll recognize some of the players that we had in our 2013 games. On LaSalle side, Kyle Shermer, Jimmy Herron, Jordan Meacham. On St. Joseph's Prep side, the quarterback is Jack Clements this time, and then DeAndre Swift still carrying the ball, who ultimately got drafted in the NFL this past week. John Reed also was in the mix as a very good player on both sides of the ball. And you're going to see in this game, it was a packed house at Plymouth White Marsh High School. Obviously, the rivalry comes into play there. This game went back and forth. You had both teams trading touchdowns to start. Then the Prep got up 21-7. Then you'll see the game was tied at the half. LaSalle has a real good start to the first half, and then the Prep finishes with a strong fourth quarter. So this was a great game. It was a lot of fun to call, and Jeremy Treatman and I had the call for this one. Enjoy the game. Welcome to Plymouth White Marsh High School. I'm Ari Bluestein. My partner's Jeremy Treatman, and we've got the game of the year tonight here on SFBN. LaSalle versus St. Joseph's. Not only a great rivalry, but you've got two phenomenal teams here on the field tonight.
And one of them likely going to win a state championship in 4A, or certainly going to make a serious run. They've been battling each other so hard these last 2-3 years, ever since really the 4A in the Catholic League became part of the state association, and you can compete for a state championship. St. Joe Prep got one last year. LaSalle got one in 2009. Both these teams are highly heralded.
Let's talk about the LaSalle College High School Explorers. A phenomenal win last week over Archbishop Wood. Came back from 31-14 down, won 35-31. And really, the key guys for Kyle Shermer and Jimmy Herron.
They're the key guys in this whole Philadelphia area this year, the way they're playing. Kyle Shermer has to be considered the top quarterback in the area, the way he's playing. Over 1,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, just been fantastic. Jimmy Herron set the all-time Catholic League record for touchdowns last week. He had 4 touchdowns in the game, including 3 in a row in the fourth quarter, to almost single-handedly beat what many people thought could have been the best team in the state.
Now, St. Joseph's Prep, they had a rough start to the year. They're 2-3 right now, but they played arguably one of the top schedules in the entire country. They've got some great running backs, Olamide Zacchaeus and DeAndre Swift. Talk about the Hawks tonight.
I like the Hawks. Forget about the 2-3 record. That includes a game against St. Ignatius in Ohio, a top 10 team. Don Bosco Prep, traditionally a top 10 team, a team who's won 5 national championships. This is what Gabe Infante does. He plays the best to get them ready for games like this. And even games like this will get you ready for the Catholic League playoffs, and hopefully for Prep, the playoffs in the Catholic League and the state as well. I love their attack. One guy you didn't mention was John Reed, who's going to Penn State, a cornerback. He's got the tough assignment tonight on Jimmy Herron. That's going to be something to watch, too.
And you'll see him on the offensive side of the ball as well. So, real quick, one final thought here, JT. I got to get your prediction for tonight. LaSalle, St. Joe Prep, who do you have, and what's the final score?
I've been changing my mind just as we're talking here. I can't decide. Honestly, I can't decide. I'm going to go with LaSalle by a field goal. I'm
going to go with St. Joe Prep by a touchdown, but I guess we shall see, and that's why they play the game. Coming up next, a great atmosphere here at PWHS St. Joe Prep LaSalle. Coming up next here on the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. You're watching the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Well, you see the LaSalle side right there, JT. They are ready to go. A nice little whiteout going on over in the LaSalle student section, and it is just so packed here at Plymouth White Marsh High School. The St. Joe Prep side is the side that we're on. You got to look at the LaSalle side across the way, but there's really not an empty seat in the house, and I know people had to park way away from the field to get into the stadium here tonight.
Yeah, I'm one of those people, and I was here an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. Let me tell you something. There's people lined up all over the fences. This is going to be the most highly attended high school regular season game of the year in the Philadelphia area.
Well, we gave our predictions early on. It could really go either way. LaSalle versus St. Joseph's Prep, one of the most highly anticipated games of the year in this area. LaSalle coming off that big win against Wood. We mentioned that. St. Joe Prep 2-3. An impressive win over Malvern. So it could really go either way, and LaSalle is going to kick it off first to St. Joseph's Prep. It's a short kick. I believe that's Reed there on the far side. Reed, they got a flag flying in. As Reed now gets outside to about the 25, he's dragged down. And there's going to be a flag. Most likely will be on the Prep coming back on the tackle. That was Jimmy Herron.
Yeah, it's going to be against St. Joe Prep. Sometimes when you run east to west instead of or north to south instead of east to west or vice versa, you get the whole team trying to block. It makes puts yourself in a vulnerable position for some of those blockers, and I think that's what happened right there with John Reed.
So it will be a first down for St. Joseph's Prep.
The good news for St. Joe Prep last week, Ari, is that against Malvern Prep, their offense came alive for the first time all year. Jack Clements threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for 2. It was his best performance of the year.
So St. Joe Prep will start right around the 10-yard line to start things off here. Jack Clements is the quarterback for the Prep. Sends Swift in motion. Clements. He's going to take it himself on the option. Oh, and he is flipped over by a LaSalle player. The ball came loose, but they're saying that he was down by contact. But Clements on the little option took it himself, and he paid the price.
He did. He got hit hard that time. I think it was Thomas Garvin, 73, was in on the play. Brady, 44. There's a guy you got to watch. Runella, 25, another guy for LaSalle. Both of those guys were hurt early in the year, have come back, and they've been a big part of LaSalle's 5-1 start.
2nd and 8. There's a run to the outside. This is Reed, and he's taken down around near the 20-yard line. That's 59, Matthew McDermott.
I think he's got the first down of the game, Ari.
Yes, he does. Just right at the 20. 8-yard gain for Reed. St. Joe Prep in the hurry-up, as you mentioned before, JT. You got the hurry-up Chip Kelly-esque offense. Oh, and here's a big hole up the middle. DeAndre Swift. We've seen this happen before. He's across midfield, off to the races, and Herron pushes him out of bounds, but a big-time run for DeAndre Swift.
He made a move at his own 40-yard line that was as shifty as anything you'll see at the high school level. Remember, this is a young 10th grader. And he made an outstanding move. We saw that identical run against Don Bosco Prep.
Look at the Prep student section. They're feeling it here early on, and you can hear the band. They're right in front of them, too.
Thousands and thousands of fans here. It's great to see for a high school sporting event. This is as good as it gets. Herron and Mike Crone were the ones who finally ran him out of bounds.
It's a 53-yard run for Swift. Now Clements rolling out, and he throws it in. It is caught by his tight end. That's number 45, Joe Dumont. And Dumont is down to near another first down.
They run that no-huddle offense very quick. Not as fast as maybe Chris Martin ran it last year and leading Prep to the championship, but Clements has really got better here as the year has progressed, and he had no time to learn. He was going up against the best teams in the country. We saw him live here against Don Bosco Prep. They went out against St. Ignatius and lost in a close one. They beat a great team in the opener out in Illinois.
2nd and 1 now. Clements, inside handoff. This is up the gut. It's going to be a first down for Benny Walls. Walls up to about the 15, so that sets up another first down for the Prep. Well, they're really getting their offense going here, and they're using a number of different weapons here.
Well, they are. They're mixing it up. They're mixing it around, and LaSalle, they're used to this because they practice against this every day. They've got 4 down linemen trying to get pressure, but it's the variety of the offensive plays that's throwing them off right now.
Inside handoff, up the gut, touchdown by St. Joe Prep. That is James Bell on the carry for the 15-yard dash.
They've got a lot of weapons. Bell scored a touchdown last week for St. Joe Prep, and he gets another one right here. James Bell, a 5'8 senior. He's not talked about as much as some of the other guys, but they have change of pace. Everybody gives you something different. Some guys are power, some guys are speed, some guys are better east-west, some guys are better north-south, some guys are better catching the ball out of the backfield. And Gabe Infantes has been experimenting, taking his lumps early, but it's paying off. And look who the extra point kicker is. It's John Runyon.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, Nick Bill's injured. John Runyon is doing the kicking. He kicked last week against Malvern.
Well, I don't think the University of Michigan is going to have him kick, will they?
Hey, if you can make a 25-yarder, Michigan is off to its roughest start in years. But John Runyon has stepped up because Nick Bill is hurt and can't kick right now. And this is going to be 25 yards, Ari.
Yeah, this is almost like a short field goal here for Runyon.
He knocked a few down last week.
He's up. It's good. Look at the big man, John Runyon, knocking it through. 7-0. The Prep with the lead over LaSalle, but LaSalle's got a pretty potent offense themselves with Kyle Shermer.
I hope your voice is ready because there's going to be a lot of touchdowns in this game, I predict. Even though both of these teams are solid defensively, both teams have better offensive lines than defensive lines, and both teams' offenses, when going, are just kind of unstoppable. If St. Joe Preps can get to the level where LaSalle's has been all year, Archbishop Wood, they thought they had that game won last week, and LaSalle pulled it out with 3 great touchdowns at the end.
Well, the weather tonight is actually cleared up a little bit here, JT.
Perfect football
55
weather.
degrees, scattered showers, no wind. But the showers have kind of stopped, at least for now. They were raining a little bit early on as we were getting set up here at Plymouth White Marsh. But right now, it's actually turned out to be not a bad fall night here at PW.
Not at all. Let's keep it this way. Last time we were here, we were in a lightning storm. We never even completed the game.
That was Bosco and Prep, yep. Oh, man. Yeah, that was fun. Hopefully we don't see the same tonight. And John Runyon's going to kick it off for the Prep. It's a short kick from Runyon. And it's going to be taken and running into a wall that time. Ooh, big hit that time by number 24. That's Terrence Green with the big hit.
I think Meacham in on the return.
So LaSalle will start things off here. Go ahead, JT.
Yeah, Jordan Meacham has been one of the key guys for running as a running back for LaSalle. They have a real good passing attack. Meacham has 19 catches out of the backfield for 334 yards. Eubanks will play a lot. He wears number 13. He has 12 catches. Hampshire, the tight end, has 21 catches. Heron's been unbelievable with 12 touchdowns, and he's now the all-time leading touchdown receiver in the Catholic League in its history. He wears number 3.
Kyle Shermer going to work, starting at his own 31. The screen pass to Meacham, and he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, great job by St. Joe Prep, that front 4. They stayed at home. Dumont, one of the guys in on the tackle for St. Joe Prep.
They give him a yard there. Getting up to about the 32, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Explorers.
44, Alec Dirks also in that linebacker. Thomas Johnson, who was hurt for a couple games, wears number 2. He's a starting linebacker for St. Joe Prep. He's a key back in this game.
Shotgun, Shermer fakes the handoff, escapes the rush, and he goes down. That's a sack by St. Joe Prep, number 44, Alec Dirks, the guy you just mentioned.
Just mentioned that Alec Dirks is playing his lane. He did it on the first play, and he does it right there. Really makes a big impact with a nice sack.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 12 for the Explorers.
Nickel package coming in for the base package as you saw Armin Ware, number 34, running off the field. Extra defender in the secondary coming in. Reed is guarding Heron. That's in the far left of your screen. That's the number 1 all-time touchdown receiver in Catholic League history, going up against a guy going to Penn State.
Shermer back to pass, looking across the middle. It is complete, and is it going to be enough for a first down? I'm not sure, as he finds Charles Hampshire, the senior tight end, and they will move the chains. Going to get just up to the 41-yard line, so it will be a first down for the Explorers.
That's the 22nd catch of the year for Hampshire, and he's got over 300 yards receiving the football as well. Meacham's also the leading runner with over 400 yards, 7 touchdowns on the run. Brunello will run the ball sometimes, number 25 for 110, 3 touchdowns coming into the contest.
There's another option, Shermer. Oh, he throws a lateral pass. They're going to have a flag. That might be, oh, you got a flag at the end of the play, too. That might be an illegal forward pass on Shermer's part.
Or he may have been past the line of scrimmage when he did it. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
that too, yes. So, but there's a flag at the end of the play, may have been a late hit. We'll see what the officials say.
That could offset it, because I agree with you. I think there was something in the wrong on that flip, and that's going to bring it back for LaSalle, but St. Joe Prep may negate it with the penalty they had at the end of the play.
Yeah, you see the officiating crew.
LaSalle's offense is very strong, though. When they have the ball right now, let's see how they respond.
Personal foul on St. Joseph's Prep.
So the ball is going to be moved into St. Joe's Prep territory.
And a first down, so I think they picked up the flag back near the line of scrimmage. Maybe they determined that it was not an illegal forward pass across the line of scrimmage. Coach Gabe Infante is actually talking to the head official right now, but that's going to be a big-time penalty, and they're going to move it all the way up to the 44-yard line of the Prep. Oh, no, they're going to move it even further up. That's right, they're going to add it on to the play. So it's going to be a complete pass from Shermer to Meacham and push him up another 15.
Well, all the St. Joe
29.
Prep fans are in front of us, and there's probably 5,000 to 6,000 of them grunting right now. They thought there was going to – the first flag was against LaSalle. The play looked like it was going to start out well, but looks like about a 35-yard gain on the run, the pitch, and the penalty.
Shermer, wide receiver screen. Oh, that's a big-time hit from St. Joe Prep's number 22, Benny Walls. The second big hit that we've seen today.
It was Meacham again who caught the ball. He lines up all different places. Remember, he's their leading rusher, and Shermer can run it too. When you see Shermer out there, his size, I mean, you can tell this is the son of a guy who played major college football and is the Eagles' offensive coordinator and going to Vanderbilt next year.
Here's an inside run for the Explorers. That's Heron, and it'll be a third down and close to 7 here for the Explorers.
And again, they're in 4-down territory, Ari, so most likely we'll go for it right here. So Jimmy Heron, who's known for catching the football and has had a fantastic run this year with the 12 touchdowns already in the 6 games.
It'll be about 3rd and 7 here for the Explorers. Strips to the far side.
Meacham stays in, but I doubt he's in there to block.
Shermer looking. It's the Meacham. Spins. It comes down close to the 20. I don't think he got it, though.
Well, they'll get a decision right here. They do have a good special teams at LaSalle, but I think they're going to go for it.
Hey, you got 4th and about 3. Now they're calling it a 4th and 2 here at PW. Definitely a gainable 4th down here for the Explorers.
Oh, sure. They're used to this. Ryan Brady came in with the play call. He's going to start out as the fullback, but he's also a guy who can receive it. They have 5 eligible receivers out there right now.
Shermer to Meacham. He's out in the flat, and he's got the first down, and he's got more. John Reed couldn't tackle him, and finally his upended near the 5, and it'll be a 1st and goal for the Explorers. Nicely designed plays. You saw Shermer went to the opposite side of the field, and Meacham was one-on-one in the flat with John Reed, and he won the battle.
Well, you wouldn't expect him to be able to outrun a guy who's going to Penn State. John Reed is a flat-out track star, but Meacham had the angle on him. The throw was perfect to his left hand, and there was no way Reed could intercept it, and he really had it difficult making that initial tackle.
19-yard completion. Shermer play action into the end zone, just a little bit behind his receiver, and it'll be 2nd down and goal.
And again, I mentioned both these teams have high-octane offenses, no huddling, spread offenses. So many different guys can touch the football in so many different ways. Both of these coaches are offensive geniuses. Drew Gordon at LaSalle.
Yeah.
He has been in a final 3 or 4 times. He won it all in 2009. They've been in the hunt almost every year except for last year when St. Joe Prep knocked them out of the playoffs.
Shermer in shotgun formation, single back, hands it off to Meacham inside, and he pushes forward, but it's going to be a 3rd down and goal.
I won't be surprised if Shermer takes it himself on this next carry. He's also a very, very efficient and effective runner, and at 6'4", he can get you that extra yard or 2 as well. He's very good at the quarterback sneak.
3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Again, Heron being guarded by Reed.
Shermer takes it himself, and he is in. That's going to be a touchdown for Kyle Shermer as he takes it himself.
Yeah, I thought that's what was going to happen. They were close enough there where you could go to Shermer. So both teams' offenses just marched down the field, and if you want excitement, you got it. You want a game that has the feel of a 42-41 type of a game right now. That's the kind of feel we have right now to start this football game.
LaSalle, something to be happy about as they line up for the extra point. Heron the holder, the kick is up, and it is good. We've got a 7-7 ball game. Well, it's pretty much everything we expected, and we're past the midway point here in quarter number 1, and it's already each team has scored on their opening possession. You see Jim Heron right there on your screen, number 3, a very key player in this LaSalle team. And JT, you know, it's like you said, it's been as advertised. Thus far, 7-7, great start for both teams' offenses.
Well, I think it's a better sign for St. Joe Prep that their offense was able to march up and down the field against LaSalle, because LaSalle has been more consistent this year, even though they've played a tough schedule as well. Not as tough as St. Joe Prep, but they've played better football than St. Joe Prep coming in. So there were a lot of people really wanting to see if St. Joe Prep and LaSalle would be pretty evenly matched coming in. And so far, the offense is dominating, and real good for St. Joe Prep. They don't have the big-time quarterback recruit the way LaSalle does, but
right.
Clements is running that efficient offense right now, and they do have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, Clements obviously not the passer that Shermer is, but you know, so far he's basically handed the ball off to 5 different guys, and they've done a really good job between Bell, Walls, and then you had Swift, Reed, and Clements even rushed for a couple yards.
Yeah, Razak's going to be the kicker here, although Savage was the one who had the extra point attempt.
Here's Swift on the return on the far side, and he's finally taken down, but across the 30, so a deep return there for the Hawks.
Kerrigan on the special teams. Austin. Aiden Kerrigan, 5'11", 220-pound senior for LaSalle. So let's see if LaSalle's defense can man up a little better against St. Joe Prep this time. St. Joe Prep's got to feel really great about getting an early score. They've struggled with that all year until last week against Malvern, where they scored 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, 49 points against a pretty good Malvern Prep Friar squad
that beat them the year before.
Yeah. Well, Malvern's pretty good. They've got themselves a really good quarterback in Alex Hornibrook, who will be going to University of Pitt next year. All right, so Clemens is in the shotgun, trips to the near side. 4 wide receivers in total. Handoff inside. I believe that's Zacchaeus on the carry. He gains maybe a yard.
Nice defensive front with a nice push that time for LaSalle. You mentioned Malvern Prep having a good quarterback going to Pitt. I believe their old quarterback is back up with the Giants. Hasib, who's going to be Ryan Hasib, who's going to be in town now for the Eagles game.
Here's a screen pass out to Swift. Swift. Ooh. Swift was hit once, then taken down again. That was 7, Austin Grizak.
Meacham also in on the play, doing a nice job.
All right, so we got a 3rd down. Looks to be about a long 4.
Aside from being just a prep football star, he's also a very good track runner.
Looks like they're improvising a play right here, possibly an audible.
Clements in the shotgun, looking to pass. He's going deep, and it is going to be caught by John Reed. John Reed with a phenomenal catch. That's going to be our in good hands salon and spa catch of the game. John Reed, the concentration and the ability to get that going. Wow. In Good Hands catch of the game is sponsored by In Good Hands Massage Therapy and Historic Hatboro. It has been voted as the best massage in Montgomery County. Gift certificates are available. Special new client price of $49 for an hour massage if you mention SFBN. That was a heck of a play.
It really was. Safety Michael Crone was right there on the defense, as Swift's going to go down quickly this time. Keith Wagner and Ed McDermott in on the tackle that time for LaSalle.
It's a 36-yard pass play from Clemens to Reed. And Swift right there. That's a 3-yard loss.
It is in 7-7 right now. 2nd and 13 from the 27. Clemens in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers wide right. Justin Montague wide left.
Clemens is in the shotgun, and now we're going to have a timeout called by St. Joseph's Prep, so we're going to take our first break here on the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. We'll be back from Plymouth White Marsh High School. Welcome back. Jack Clements in the shotgun. 2nd and 13 here for the Prep. Oh, we've got a nice little reverse. DeAndre Swift with Clements in front. He's got the first down and more up across the 10 and to about the 5. And St. Joe Prep with the 1st and goal. And I'll tell you what, Coach Infante made the most of his timeout right there.
Really like that call. A little shake and bake, a little double reverse. And Swift has 2 really nice carries here in the first half for big yardage. But they really executed that well. They caught LaSalle flat-footed and off guard.
3 carries for 75 yards thus far for DeAndre Swift.
Nothing wrong with averaging 25 yards a pop.
Clements is under center, power I. This is Olamide Zacchaeus trying to power his way in, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Olamide Zacchaeus. And just like that, Prep goes back on top.
Well, Zacchaeus did a real nice job, and he fought through that left side of the line. And he gets through that left side of the line, getting a nice push from John Runyon and Jake Strain up there. And that really helps. That St. Joe Prep offensive line doing a nice job. Ehrlich also in up there. And again, here comes John Runyon.
Hey, he kicks it through again. 2 for 2 for the big man. 14-7. St. Joseph's Prep with a lead over to LaSalle College High School Explorers. No punts. No turnover on downs, just 3 touchdowns, all here in the first quarter. Well, I think you were right. We might be on pace for a 42-41 game there, JT.
Well, when you asked me in the pregame who's going to win, and this is the reason why I wasn't sure if there was an answer, because it's just back and forth, back and forth. I really feel whoever's going to get the ball last probably going to win the game.
That could be. 3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining officially here at PW. The crowd getting pumped here on the home side here of St. Joseph's Prep. I don't see an empty spot in the bleachers here. And you know what, JT, I saw tailgaters out here when we were getting set up, and we get here pretty early, and people were here
like
this
at
is
4,
an event. 4:30.
This isn't just a football game. This is an event. St. Joe Prep LaSalle, you want to have that high seeding and go into those playoffs undefeated in the Catholic League. Although you can lose this game and still come back and win the Catholic League championship and win a state championship. You do not have to win tonight to win the whole thing.
Absolutely. Oh, here's a nice kickoff return by number 25, Nick Ranella. And Ranella takes it up across the 40, and LaSalle is in business as well.
He's one of the captains for Drew Gordon. He speaks very highly of Nick Ranella, who's a big part of this team offensively and defensively and special teams. He was banged up and missed a game or 2 early, as did Brady, who's the real leader of that defense, and in some ways the offense as well. But they're at full strength. St. Joe Prep, a little banged up with Shane Davis playing hurt.
Well, and the first time we covered this team, number 2 Thomas Johnson and number 4 Nick Vanderveer were both out. I do see Johnson out there. Not sure about Vanderveer though. Shermer in the shotgun. Hands it off. This is Ranella again. Cuts it up inside. Dives forward to about the 45 for a gain of 4.
5'9" junior Nick Ranella. He's a big 2-way player, really 3-way player for this team. Shermer, of course, going to Vanderbilt. Jimmy Herron, who is the all-time receiver with touchdowns in the Catholic League. All-time. Let me reiterate that. He's going to Duke to play baseball. LaSalle's known for having a lot of guys who play 2-3 sports, and it doesn't really seem to affect them. St. Joe Prep often is in the same position.
There's a hand. Yeah, nice. Big fullback right there. Ryan Brady, 6'2", 190. And he gets it up close to midfield to about the 49-yard line. Gain of 4 for the big man.
Good offensive line push.
And LaSalle slowing things down a little bit, using the power of Ranella and Brady a little bit to complement the finesse of Shermer. So now we have a 3rd and 3.
Matt McDermott, a 2-way lineman, 59, really getting out in the blocking lanes.
Shermer across the middle. It's incomplete over the head of Nick Ranella. Tried a quick little
almost
pass
a slant.
Almost a slant right there, yeah.
I don't know, that was a tough one. I would keep your eye on a fake punt right here at 4th and 3. Great sign for St. Joe Prep. Both these teams don't mind coming from behind. As you saw, LaSalle was down big to Archbishop Wood and they ended up winning in a not-so-friendly William Tennant High School.
Oh, it's a short punt, and it's going to take a bounce out of bounds to about the 25-yard line. So not a great punt right there by Mike Razik.
I guess it's early in the game. No reason Drew Gordon has to gamble that 4th and 3 and get
Right.
the ball up in his own territory. I kind of thought he was going to, though. Maybe a yard and a half more, he would have gone for it.
Well, like you said, it is early in the game, but St. Joe Prep has done a great job moving the ball thus far.
Anthony Piscopo, Matt McDermott, Fletcher Grady, as well as number 85, Isaiah Henrik, are the front four for LaSalle. They've got to get more push.
Up the middle.
Bell.
This is Bell again. Up to about the 30, gain of 5.
Well, the linebackers are doing most of the tackles for LaSalle. Brady in on another tackle.
Yeah, you thought that Brady and guys like Kerrigan also would need to step up because you know the Prep heavily relies on the run.
Well, and their offensive line to a man is 20 pounds bigger, 20 pounds heavier than LaSalle, and vice versa. Both teams have big advantages with their offensive lines.
Here's another handoff. This time it's Walls, and he maybe gains a yard, but a nice job by the front line of LaSalle to stop him. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Hawks.
Really interesting how both coaches use so many different players on offense to touch the ball.
Third down and 4. We're down to about a minute remaining here in quarter number 1. Shotgun. Swift in motion. Play action. Clements running. Throws it, and it is incomplete. Intended for Walls, who was down on the ground, and that brings up 4th down. So LaSalle gets a big stop right there after their team punted to kind of keep the status quo here, and now the Explorers get the ball back down 7.
It was a real good defensive stop. What the difference was, they were able to stop St. Joe Prep in for short yardage on 2nd and 3rd down, running the football, or 1st and 2nd down. And Clemens made a good decision there. He was about to get whacked for a 15-yard loss, and he threw the ball in the direction of Walls, not in danger of an interception. That was a nice play by Clement.
St. Joe Prep to punt. Oh, it's a bad snap, but he gets it away.
Wow.
Fair catch called for. Back at about the 32 by Jimmy Herron. So nice recovery by the St. Joe Prep punter. That's number 9, Robert Caprice.
Real nice job by Caprice right there. I don't know how he got that one off. It looked like that was going to get blocked. Looked like the Eagle special teams was on him, and he somehow got that one off. So LaSalle has an opportunity to tie the game right here, late first quarter.
Yeah, we're here about 39 seconds remaining here at quarter number 1. And LaSalle gets the ball back here. This might be the last play of quarter number 1, though. We'll see what the Explorers do. Sherman the shotgun. Ranella back onto the field now. And he splits out wide. 4 receivers. Meacham is the lone setback. Shermer back to pass. Looking across the middle. It's complete to Herron. And Herron dives forward to about the 39-yard line for a 7-yard completion.
Hey, if you're St. Joe Prep and you're keeping Jimmy Herron out of the end zone and he's catching the ball for 7 yards, you're doing okay.
Well, Explorers are hurrying it up here on 2nd and 3. Going to try and get at least one more play off here. Meacham up the middle. Gains a couple to about the 41.
They're going to need a couple more yards for this first down, and we're probably going to have to wait and see it in the second quarter.
Yeah, you don't want to rush here on this 3rd down play, and it looks like they're going to take it down to the end of quarter number 1, and that is how the first quarter will end here at Plymouth White Marsh High School with the score. St. Joseph's Prep 14, LaSalle 7. We'll be back with second quarter action here on the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922.
Welcome back. We rejoin the action, and on third down, Meacham is stuffed, and that sets up another fourth down from about the 40.
Wow, what a play. Strain and Meacham, or Strain and Dumont in on the play. That St. Joe Prep linebacking core is really doing a nice job tonight. Boy, real good opportunity for LaSalle to keep a drive going. 2nd down and 3, and they're not able to get it.
Oh, and another bad snap, and the punt is off, but it barely,
It's partially blocked.
yeah, barely gets anywhere. And St. Joe Prep is going to have phenomenal field position inside Explorers territory at the Explorer 46.
Not like LaSalle to make mistakes like that. They had a 2nd and 3, weren't able to execute on 2 running plays up the middle, and then they have trouble getting a clean punt off. And Prep's got great field position at the 44-yard line, 46-yard line.
This is indeed great field position here for the Hawks as Jack Clements goes back to work. So on the first 3 possessions of the game, JT, 3 touchdowns, and on the last 3 punts.
Well, there's always adjustments, and we do see Shane Davis out there. We're told he was going to be playing hurt if he plays at all. 6'4", 295-pound lineman for St. Joe's.
Play actions. Clements finds Olamide Zacchaeus down the far side. First down and a lot more, and he is in for the score. Are they going to call it a touchdown? Oh, no, they're going to say he stepped out. They're going to say he stepped out, but that was a phenomenal takedown by Olamide Zacchaeus as he just lowered the shoulder.
He sure did. It looked like it was a touchdown. Zacchaeus thought he had the touchdown, but he made a lot of fans with that effort and that physicality.
That's so funny. The PA announcer just said he stepped out of bounds, and all the fans go, oh, that's great. You got to love it, though. Love it. First down. That big pass play from Clements to Zacchaeus. Clements looking to pass again across the middle. And that's Dumond again, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, St. Joe Prep to Joe Dumond.
Wow. How about this St. Joe Prep team? They're playing terrific football right now, offensively and defensively. They're making key plays on key stops. And Jack Clements under control. That's what I said, even though they weren't able to get the completion and first down the last play. On that 3rd down, he threw it away, avoided a sack, which was a big play for him, a guy who's really struggled with that. And that was under control. He bought some time. He found Dumont coming over the middle. He wasn't the first option on that play, and they get a touchdown out of it.
And the kick is good yet again by John Runyon. As Joe Dumond and Olamide Zacchaeus make it a 2-play touchdown drive. Phenomenal job right there by St. Joe Prep as they now lead it 21-7.
Really impressed with St. Joe Prep. We saw them hang their heads earlier in the year with some really tough losses. Don Bosco was one of them.
St. Joe Prep crowd feeling it. 2 straight touchdowns to give themselves a 2-touchdown lead with about 11 minutes remaining here in the first half.
It's incredible what kind of crowd support and community support these 2 high schools get. Rich traditions, both of them. St. Joe Prep and LaSalle. Great academic schools. The kids represent the Catholic community very well. You hear a lot of good things about what these kids do after high school, after college. A lot of success. We've got a lot of players already going to play college football that we already know about. John Runyon headed to Michigan.
Absolutely.
John Reed headed to Penn State. Kyle Shermer going to play Vanderbilt.
St. Joe Prep and John Daniel Runyon getting ready set to kick it off. Ooh, it's a line drive. Ooh, that's tough. Ranella can't handle it, and that's going to be a touchback.
And, of course, the K is headed to Virginia. Swift, a 10th grader, being recruited by everybody.
I would think he would be recruited by everybody. He's a heck
and
of a player.
And whoever's not recruiting him, if they're watching this tonight, 3 carries for 75 yards, they're recruiting him.
Thank you for joining us here on the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. St. Joe Prep and LaSalle traded touchdowns on their first 2 possessions, and the Prep with 2 straight, and that's how they lead it 21-7. Bell with a 15-yard run, Zacchaeus with a 5-yard run, and just then a 14-yard pass to Dumont. Shermer had the 1-yard run for LaSalle. This is Meacham up the middle on the delay. First down and more. He's going to the far side. He's in a foot race. John Reed there, as well as Delius, and they take him down, but not before he gets into Hawk territory. Jordan Meacham. And you know what's funny? We talked about Meacham on our talk show, SFBN Talks High School Sports. Aaron Ace Carter from the Daily News said Meacham will be the X factor in this game.
Well, he's been having a really good year. He's been just as effective out of the backfield, running back and as a receiver. He's combined for 700 yards between the run and the pass. He's done a nice job, Meacham.
Shermer in the shotgun. Again to Meacham. Meacham cuts it up, crosses the 40, gets to about the 40 for a 4-yard gain.
Real nice blocking by James Morrissey, 6'3", 275-pound junior up there. Boy, they've got some beef up front, just like St. Joe Prep does. Both these teams' offensive lines are just stacked, and I really think they're the strength of the team.
Yeah, we just mentioned SFBN Talks High School Sports every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the Comcast Network. You've been a co-host a couple of times. And
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good reviews so far, so we'll keep doing it. 2nd and 6 for the Explorers.
I was hoping you were going to keep it going.
Shermer to the outside, and it is complete. Hits his receiver. I believe that's Levi Hardy. No, Brendan Meeks. So Meeks on the reception, and it's going to be a LaSalle first down. Nice look there to the far side. We've seen Shermer make those passes where he has the arm strength to reach to that far side of the field. A lot of times you say quarterbacks, you don't want them to do it because you have the risk of going across the field and getting intercepted, but Shermer has shown he has the arm strength to take care of that.
Yeah, I agree. He's really throwing a nice ball.
First and 10. This is Shermer. Across the middle, it's complete, and there's a big hit right there by Dylan Delius.
But Hampshire holds on. Hampshire's a solid tight end for this LaSalle team. He now has 24 catches on the year. So he's somebody who will get the ball 4 to 6 times every game. They target him usually about 7 or 8 times. Thomas Garvin playing two-way line. He's the left tackle in this game. That's Brady.
That's Brady with the carry up the gut, and that's going to be a first down. And that's really all you need there on those short yardage plays. Just send in your big fullback, and he'll get through the line.
Well, they weren't able to do it that last time. 2nd and 3, they failed twice. Very important that LaSalle doesn't fall right now because I don't think they want to get down 3 touchdowns in this game the way they did to Archbishop Wood. I don't know if you think you can do that every week. You found that out. You can't do it every week. Receivers are all split in this formation.
And we've got a whistle and a timeout called by St. Joseph's Prep. That is their second used timeout, so we're going to step away here on the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. LaSalle is driving. We'll be back. First and 10 for the LaSalle College High School Explorers. The Prep with only 1 timeout remaining, and there's still over 9 minutes to go here in the first half. LaSalle with all 3. Shermer back to pass, and it is incomplete, intended for Meacham right off the hands.
Interesting. I thought Heron was more open than Meacham, and Heron's his number 1 target. But
yeah, but that Meacham was open too.
He was, but he rifled that throw in. If you're gonna throw that hard, you might as well go to the guy who's 10 yards down the field and go for the touchdown.
We mentioned Kyle Shermer, a Vanderbilt commit. We saw some action on Twitter from the Vanderbilt football page. A couple of people down in Andy tuning in here tonight on SFBN.
That's awesome.
Shermer, shotgun. 2nd down and 10.
They're going to love him down there, by the way.
And that's going to be a false start. Some movement up front there on LaSalle.
Yeah, legal formation, I think, and then someone jumped.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15 from the Hawk 27. The Explorers trying to this lead in half. Yes.
Yeah, Robert Skronowski was the guy who moved. 6'1" senior offensive lineman.
Shermer The delay to Ranella. He's got some room, getting to the outside, and he is taken down right near the first down marker. Really like that play call from the Explorers.
I love that play call. The blocking was right there, was executed perfectly. The linebacker was completely wiped out of the play in the middle of the field, so the whole right side was open. I actually thought he had the first down, but I guess the knee went down. A yard too shoot.
They're going to mark him. Yeah, they're going to mark him down at the 13. That's going to be a 14-yard gain for Ranella. 3rd down and 1 for the Explorers.
Yeah, Ranella had a great run. I don't think he had the right finish right there. I think he fell laterally instead of vertically.
Shermer under center. Let's see if he keeps it here. No, it's right to Brady. Busts through the line. Oh! He had an opening there for a moment.
Well,
but
he made the opening.
And Brady bowls his way up to the 7. That'll set up 1st and goal, and that's another Explorer first down.
Yeah, when I talked to Drew Gordon a few weeks ago, he was very concerned that Brady and Ranella were both hurt. And you could see that this team isn't going to go nearly as far without those two guys. Brady, the heart and soul of this team.
Shermer on the play action. It's incomplete. And that'll be 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, Dilulius again with great coverage that time. I think it was Connor Mulligan, the second tight end for LaSalle, was the target.
Just under 8 minutes here to go here in the first half. LaSalle down by 2 touchdowns, trying to make it a 1-touchdown deficit. Shermer hands it off to Meacham, cuts it up inside, and he goes across the 5, gets down to maybe about the 3, so that'll be a 3rd down and goal from about the 3-yard line.
But they keep going over that right side of the line between the guard, the center, and the right tackle there. A lot of girth up front there for LaSalle. McDermott, 6'2", 255-pounder. Wagner's also up there, number 58. I think you're going to see 2 more runs right here. I don't think they're going to chance it in the air. But I've been wrong many times before.
Well, we saw last week Shermer at 1st and goal inside the 5. He threw a pass to Heron, and he is going to pass it. And he throws it. That's a dangerous pass, but he fit it in such a tight spot just beyond the reach of Dylan DeIlias, and that is going to be a touchdown from Shermer to Meacham. Well, you were wrong there, JT.
I was wrong. Once in a while I'm wrong. I thought actually he was going to keep it himself because he had the success running the ball out of the read option the last time, or the quarterback option, whatever you want to call it.
Now the extra point.
This is important for LaSalle right here. And Savage.
The kick is up. Yeah, that's Savage. Matthew Savage puts it in. So we've got ourselves a 21-14 game on the 3-yard touchdown pass to Meacham. 7:17 remaining here in quarter number 2. And now LaSalle will kick it back to the prep. The LaSalle student section making some noise across the way, as expected. Here's the kick by Mike Razik. That's Swift. Takes it right around the goal line. He's got a little bit of room. Uh-oh, he's got a lot of room. And now he is across the 35. Finally taken down by Lance McDermott of LaSalle. But again, another very nice return from the sophomore DeAndre
He's
Swift.
Incredibly shifty. He can really get by someone in the one-on-one. In the open field, it takes more than one person to bring him down. He's terrific.
So the Hawks will start at their own 37, up by a touchdown. Now it's really up to the LaSalle defense right here to try and get a stop and get Kyle Shermer back the football before the end of this first half. Clements is in the shotgun.
Yeah, they had a good stop to the possession before.
Inside handoff. Now as Bell carries it up to about the 40 for a gain of 3.
But Bell's really given this offense a lift. A touchdown last week, a touchdown this week, a change of pace runner. Really doesn't look like there's any drop-off at all when he comes into the game.
Yeah, and they've got Benny Walls, too. He's done a great job running the ball this year.
I think he's the only transfer that making a big impact for the prep team this year, Walls.
2nd and 7. Clements in the shotgun yet again.
Clemens now in the pistol, hands the ball off to Jim Bell.
It's a play action, and he throws as he's being sacked, and it is incomplete. Dangerous pass right there. Nice coverage by Jordan Meacham on the outside, covering Dylan DeIulius. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
You know, there's times to take the sack and times to throw the ball away. And I think that was the one time that maybe you take the sack. That was really a dangerous throw. That was a 50-50 ball, and Prep fortunate that wasn't picked off. But at the same token, it could have been caught just as easily by one of his players.
3rd down and 7. This is a big potential defensive stop here for LaSalle.
Late play call coming in, Ari.
4 wide receivers. Clements rolling out, throws on the run, and it is complete. That's Zacchaeus up near midfield.
But Clement looks so much more relaxed than he did earlier in the season. Took his time in the pocket. He's a big pocket passer presence, and he really made a nice throw that time. Zacchaeus came back to get the ball on a little out pattern out on that left side of the field.
9-yard pass completion to Zacchaeus. And we've got a flag here, I believe, a stoppage. False start on St. Joseph's Prep. It'll be 2nd and 15. Excuse me, 1st and 15. I was distracted by the shining lights over in the LaSalle student section. We'll have to get a shot of that at some point.
Well, it looks like Prep's doing it too. Is that through people's phones? They're going back and forth.
This is up the gut. Clements. Look at Clements go. Whoa, man. 1st down for Clements as he gets into Explorer territory up to about the 38.
Yeah, I think he's tired of hearing about Chris Martin, how good he was last year. Yeah, look at that.
There's the lights right there, and that was LaSalle you just saw. This is the Prep.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'll have to find out what the deal with that is. Pretty cool. It's a 1st down here for St. Joe Prep after the run by Clements. He's got plenty of time here in the pocket. Rolling out. Throws on the run, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands right there of John Reed.
Yeah, I think Reed's got to come down with that ball. Clements had an opportunity to run that time, too. He decided that he felt comfortable making that pass to Reed out in the right flat, and Reed just wasn't able to come back to the ball and make the catch at the same time.
2nd down and 10. We are past the midway point here in quarter number 2. Clements, shotgun, trips to the near side. It's a wide receiver screen. This is Swift. Goes to the outside. We've got a flag coming in. That's probably going to be a hold or an illegal block. It may come back. Nice run and catch by Swift, but I think that one's going to come back there, JT.
Yeah, I think it's 25 John Reed that they caught. I think he might have grabbed the face mask of the player in front of him, Meacham.
See the official call. It's going to be a hold on the Prep.
It was right in front. Swift was coming down, and Reed was the guy in front, so it was clearly Reed. Unfortunate that time.
Pushing back to the 45. 2nd and 17. Clements in the shotgun. Audible coming in from the St. Joe Prep sideline. There's Clements. And Zacchaeus is back there with him. Clements looking for the quick slant. And this is a quick out to Swift. And Swift steps out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 38, 37-yard line.
Swift showing another skill set, catching the ball out of the backfield, making a nice catch that time, got both feet in before he went out of bounds. Very fleet foot, very quick. I like to see Swift in there for St. Joe Prep. I think he creates a lot of matchup problems for LaSalle.
3rd and 9 officially here for the Prep. Could be 4-down territory for the Hawks. We shall see. Clements. Shotgun. Oh, and he collides with his runner, Zacchaeus, and he dumps it off to Zacchaeus on the running back screen. Looks like Meacham was there, as well as number 56 for LaSalle, Connor McCracken.
Well, they were lucky they didn't fumble the ball that time.
And that's going to be 4th down, and we'll see what the Prep decides to do. It's 4th and 11, a loss of 2 on the play.
Well, since the ball's at the 39-yard line, they're going to go for it.
So St. Joe Prep is going for it. If they can get it here, that's a huge gain for the Hawks. So LaSalle's really got to come up with the stop. There's Clements, number 6 on your picture right now. Shotgun. Looking. He's got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Oh, he's got the whole left side open, but he chooses to throw it, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by LaSalle. And that was Mike Hudick on the reception, the strong safety. On the interception, I should say. Well, to me, I don't know what you saw, JT, but I saw the whole left side was open, and maybe Clements could have run for that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, too. I think he probably should have run, but I think he thought he wasn't going to get the first down. His best chance for the first down was throwing it, but he didn't get it over the safety there, Walls, who made a really nice play. And this is a good momentum turner for LaSalle right here. That was probably Clements' first weak play of the game. When he didn't see what he wanted on the right side, you got to improvise there on the left. I think you got to run a little bit, draw some defenders to you, then you can throw the ball over the top. I think he just threw the ball way too soon. Committed way too soon.
Well, it's an interception for LaSalle. They take over. They would have taken over on downs anyway.
Well,
Kyle Shermer
true.
back to
it was
work.
4th down. That's true.
Right.
Can't really fault it if you look at it that way.
Shermer going deep down the seam. Oh, and there's a big-time hit yet again by Benny Walls. He's had a couple of those, and that's going to be our All-American Sporting Goods hard hit of the game, but nonetheless, it's still a first down. We've got a penalty here added on to the play, JT?
Yeah, well, Jimmy Hurd made the catch. I don't know if they were calling a flagrant hit on him. I didn't actually see what the flag was on. I don't know what the helmet-to-helmet rules are here in the Catholic League or the PIAA for that matter. But that may have been what it was. Harry got hit with the crown of the helmet.
Shotgun. Shermer hands it off. This is Ranella. Cuts it up and gets forward to about the 36-yard line.
So a real good opportunity here. Wall's interception setting up LaSalle right here. St. Joe Prep had a really good chance, didn't able to convert on 3rd down, got a penalty, had 4th and long. It was easy to be critical of quarterback Clements, but when thinking about it on 4th down, they were losing the ball anyway, so there's no reason not to throw the ball. So it really wasn't as critical a mistake as it would appear to the naked eye. He didn't feel like he could run it for the first down, so he threw it.
2nd and 8. Got a timeout on the field, and LaSalle is going to take their first timeout. So we're going to take a break here on SFBN. Just under 4 minutes remaining here at quarter number 2. You're watching the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY.
Well, you see the pink being worn by St. Joe Prep's number 8, Sean Harris. Here at SFBN, we support breast cancer awareness. We wore our pink ribbons on our talk show, SFBN Talks High School Sports, and we certainly credit everyone who is wearing pink tonight, pink towels, pink gloves. You'll see it throughout the players, and the NFL, of course, is doing it as well. You got to love that initiative. Shermer, shotgun, 2nd and 8, going down the far side, and it's overthrown, incomplete, intended for Jordan Meacham.
Good idea right there. St. Joe Prep defender was turned around, so Meacham had an opportunity to catch that ball. Nick Vanderveer, who you asked about earlier, he is playing. He did not see the football that time, so if that ball was perfectly thrown, it could have been completed. But it was a really, really tough connection right there. I think the St. Joe Prep defense has done a nice job against Shermer in that passing attack.
All right, big third down here, 3rd and 8. Shermer in the shotgun. LaSalle trailing by 7. It's a delay. Meacham trying to bounce it outside. He does, and he's got a first down and more. Great carry by Jordan Meacham, and I think that fooled the prep a little bit. I like the way LaSalle's been mixing in the runs a little bit tonight.
Well, that's what I said. Meacham runs the ball just as effectively as he does catching the ball out of the backfield, and he's really stepped up this year for LaSalle. He has a huge role in the team, way bigger than he used to have.
7 carries, 54 yards unofficially for Jordan Meacham thus far here in the first half.
He needs 7 touchdowns overall coming into the contest, over 400 yards rushing coming into the contest.
Half of play in the Prep LaSalle football game at Colonial Stadium. Again, St. Joe's Prep's.
You know, on the eye test, you feel like St. Joe Prep has won this first half, but the first half's not over, and LaSalle's got an opportunity to tie it right here.
Don Bosco, St. Ignatius, they've been all over the place with their schedule after a crushing win against Malvern.
1st and 10 here for LaSalle.
Another one right here this week.
Shermer to Meacham. Dives forward, maybe a yard.
Tom Johnson made a really nice tackle that time. Had to leave the game.
2nd down at about 9. And, you know, to your comment earlier, JT, about it seems like the Prep has dominated this game. You know, they did have that where they scored all those touchdowns in a row and they were going up and down the field. But I'll tell you what, the LaSalle defense has stepped up over the last couple of possessions to give Shermer a chance to get the Explorers back in this game.
Well, they got the big interception, and they also got a stop on a 3rd down run.
This is Shermer. He's got time, slings it, overthrows everybody. Again, intended for Jordan Meacham. And you know what? It's interesting that he's looking for Meacham because I'm seeing Jimmy Herron on the far side of the field, and I think that the Prep is really keying on him. There's Meacham right there on your screen. He's had a ton of work so far. 5 receptions, 44 yards, and a touchdown, and 7 carries for 54 yards. And Herron, only 2 catches for 20 yards. So really, Meacham has been the guy tonight.
Well, Herron's getting the one-on-one coverage on the line on the press coverage, and he's also getting the safety help. He's caught a couple balls, taken a couple hits. But remember, Herron's a 4th quarter player.
third and a short 10. It's about 9.5. Shotgun. Shermer again with time across the middle. He's got Meacham again. 1st down just inside the 10. They're going to mark it right at the 10-yard line. A 14-yard pass completion.
Wow, he's such a dual threat. Meacham, he has really grown up here in his senior year and taken a major leadership role and a starring role that he never had here before. He is really turning into some kind of player.
And now as the clock keeps running, 2:40, 2:39, 2:38.
About 2.5 minutes remaining here in quarter number 2. 1st and goal from the 10 for the Explorers. Looking to tie things up.
They're not looking for a field goal here either. They're looking to tie this thing up, as you mentioned.
I don't think these teams know what field goals are.
Well, ironically, they both have field goal kickers. Not many high schools do.
Shermer, and it's Ranella. Touchdown, LaSalle. He got him on the crossing route on the slant across the middle, and there is Nick Ranella with the touchdown, and we are awaiting extra point. LaSalle trailing by 1, and they could tie it up with the point after touchdown.
But they're really crossing them up with the crossing routes, no pun intended right now. LaSalle, St. Joe Prep has no idea where that football is going. They're getting a little winded. LaSalle marching up and down the field, got a couple of really great 3rd down conversions, 1 to Meacham, 1 to Herron, and they got that touchdown right there to Ranella coming out of the backfield. Real nice job by the LaSalle offense. They sent 5 guys out.
Extra point is up, and it's good, and we're all knotted up at 21, as that was Savage for the extra point for the Explorers. Tied at 21, 2:14 remaining, and St. Joe Prep gets the ball back, and obviously they're going to look to score, and they're going to look to score quickly.
Well, there's plenty of time. 2:14 is a lot of time. Looks like they've got 1 timeout left, so they get a return here from Swift. Let's say they have the ball on the 30, 35-yard line, a couple completions. They could do something. I'm not sure how far John Runyon can kick a field goal, but it looks like he can line drive one for about 35 to 40 yards based on what we're seeing. So not out of the possibility that could happen here before this half's out.
Coming up on our halftime report, we'll have the stats for you, and we'll discuss the first half, and perhaps we'll go around the league here, JT, and we'll take a look at some scores. You had a big game in the public league that we talked about on our show, SFBN Talks. We'll talk about that game and the implications that has in the public league 4A division. And also on Thursday night, we had a special Thursday night game here in the Catholic League. Roman and Judge, and we'll tell you the...
Romans played back-to-back Thursday nights.
That's right. All right, so LaSalle's going to kick it off. And it's a squibber. Picked up. This is Dumond, yeah. And he bowls forward to about the 41. So might not have been what head coach Drew Gordon wanted there, as he squibbed it, was hoping for a really no return, but Dumond bowled forward. And you saw earlier he had the touchdown, so he definitely has the soft hands and the ability to get across the field. So
yeah, that was not what they wanted at all.
No.
I could hear the frustration of some LaSalle coaches pounding the ceiling here up in here in the box. That was not what they wanted at all. St. Joe Prep already in good field position, over 2 minutes left in the half, and they have a timeout.
Play action. It's a screen to Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus is hit, and he goes out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Gain of a couple.
Pretty good coverage that time by LaSalle. Grzizak, 6 foot, 165-pound senior, doing a nice job. He's played both sides of the ball today. 4-3 defense.
To Olamide Zacchaeus up the middle, but he is stopped. That's 71. Sean Collins, the senior defensive lineman, getting in there and making a nice stop.
Let's see if Infante will use the timeout.
He's let it go.
They run the no huddle. There's really no reason to use the timeout. They're used to taking 15 seconds or less off the clock. This is a big third down right here.
LaSalle with 2 timeouts remaining as well.
That's true.
Clement, shotgun. Time ticking off the clock. St. Joe Prep sending in the play from the sideline. They're going to take it down, and they're going to call a timeout here as the play clock was at 1.
Maybe they were thinking exactly what you were thinking, Ari, that if they fail, they don't want to give LaSalle the ball back. They want to think about what they're going to do right here.
And we'll keep it right here on SFBN. Ari Bluestein, Jeremy Treatment here with you, coming to you live from Plymouth White Marsh. It is a tight fit here in the press box. It's also a tight fit here at the stadium. Just the crowd is just electric, and I've been dying to do this game for 3 years, and finally I get to do it, and certainly it hasn't disappointed so far.
Yeah, I think this is my 4th or 5th St. Joe Prep LaSalle game over the years, and I think back in the 80s and 90s I was covering some Thanksgiving games with St. Joe Prep LaSalle. It's always one of the great rivalries, and now that they're both in the PIAA and these Catholic League playoffs, and the winner of that goes on to possibly win a state championship, it means so much more. I mean, these football programs are even better than they were before. This game is everything you could ask for.
Well, I
Defense,
wouldn't be
offense, special teams.
Oh, yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams match up again for the Catholic League 4A championship game. I would certainly say that, and probably will win the 4A city title as well.
Well, they'll be favored. I mean, you never know, but they're obviously favored. There are some other good teams, and we've seen some of those good teams, but these two teams clearly seem to have the edge in the 4A, and you know based on past history that either one of them could win the whole thing, as we've seen in the last 3 years that both of them have done that.
3rd down and 6 for the Prep. They are out of timeouts. Clements hands it off. This is Swift, cuts it up inside, and he is swallowed up. Nice job in there was Ryan Brady, number 44.
And LaSalle's going to call the quick timeout. They're going to get the ball back with a minute 12.
Yeah, it's a good job by LaSalle to use their timeout. They now have 1 left with a minute 12. And now here's the question, what is St. Joe Prep going to do here on 4th down? Clements is coming off the field, but that might be just a result to talk to his coach, Coach Infante. Ball is at their own 48. Well, there's a gain of 3 there for Swift.
It would be a pretty gutsy decision, but on 4th and 3, 4th and 4, I think you got to punt the football right here. I'm surprised they didn't throw the ball. They tried to keep LaSalle off balance by going on an inside counter to Swift, and Swift is averaging 25 yards a carry, so you can't really argue with going to Swift. But I think LaSalle all had the 4 defenders right there at the line. There may have been something in the middle of the field, but again, sometimes coaches don't want to risk things. You called back game. You're 21 all. You don't want to make a mistake right now.
Yeah, Robert Caprice, number 9, is now in the game. He is the St. Joe Prep punter. So I don't know. I wouldn't put it out of the complete realm of possibility if there's a fake here, but I think the smart move here is to punt it away and hope that your defense can stop LaSalle on a long field.
I don't think they're going to fake right here. Unless they try to pull him off sides, that's another option. Oh, maybe
That's
they
true.
are.
4th and 3. Low punt, low snap.
Wow.
Caprice again handles it. And it's going to take a little bit of a hawk bounce up close to the 20, and it is down at the 21. So Kyle Shermer's got a long way to go, 79 yards to be exact, in a minute flat.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. There's no way Drew Gordon and LaSalle is going to sit on this football. They're going to try to score right now. They're going to try to make an exciting minute of football for us. If I know Coach Gordon, longtime coach of Villanova, his son Brett Gordon had all the records at LaSalle. And I believe he's got a lot of records at Villanova as well, where a lot of people thought his son was undersized at 5'9", 5'10". Brett Gordon actually played for me in the Narberth Basketball League. But football was obviously his sport. I remember talking to him when he was in the 7th grade. He goes, I'm a quarterback. And I'm looking at him like, you're smaller than me. But he really did.
Here's Shermer across the middle, and it is complete. And that was complete, I believe, to Grizak. A.J. Grizak, another baseball star, along with his buddy Jim Herron.
Yeah, a lot of lacrosse and baseball players at LaSalle.
Shermer. And this goes to Brady. And he is going to be out of bounds, so that stops the clock with just under 38 seconds remaining.
Well, like I said, LaSalle's not looking to go into the locker room with a 21-21 tie. They want to put some points on the board. Let's see if they go a little more vertical, a little more downfield right here. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left, and you got Meacham in the backfield. He's probably the one who's going to get the ball.
LaSalle still with 1 timeout. Shermer, he's got time. Goes down the far side, and it is over the head of Nick Ranella, incomplete.
I'm surprised they're not going for the home run. They're going for 10, 15-yard patterns.
Well, they still have a timeout remaining. I assume they'll work the middle of the field here and possibly use their timeout. Probably try and get up to midfield with about 25 seconds remaining, call the timeout, and then maybe go for the home run. We'll see what they do here. Shermer's got 4 receivers, 2 split out to each side. Shermer. Dumond coming in, dumps it off to Ranella. Ranella makes a man miss, jumps over a man. He gets out of bounds. It won't be enough for the first down. So that'll bring up 4th down with about 25 seconds remaining. So kind of what I said in terms of the time, but Shermer was being rushed by Dumond. And it looks like LaSalle will punt it away.
Now let's see if St. Joe Prep goes for the block right here. Sends everybody up. I wouldn't even have anyone back if I'm St. Joe Prep. I'd have everybody at the line trying to block this kick. Well, maybe I would keep Reed back and have everybody else up.
That's a pretty good punt. Nice and high and deep. Reed has to backpedal, going back to about the 15. He's got some room to run. He tries to go to the outside, and he gets out of bounds just at about the 30-yard line with about 11 seconds remaining here. And with no timeouts remaining for St. Joe Prep, I doubt that they're going to try and go deep and have something catastrophic happen.
How about a flea flicker right here? Little trick play, little trickery. I'm surprised you don't see that more often with 10 seconds left. I'm not kidding. Catch somebody off guard. Although, you know,
with a 21-21 game against your biggest rival, if you do a flea flicker and it doesn't work, I think you're going to be hearing it from the fan base.
What's going to happen? An interception at the 30-yard line with 1 second left?
Clements, the safe handoff inside to Swift, bounces it to the outside.
He needs a couple blocks to break it for a big play.
And he takes it out of bounds with 2 seconds remaining. So they'll mark it down at about the 39, gain of 7 for Swift.
So what did I say? This had the potential to be a 42-41 game. We're on a 42-42 pace right now.
We certainly are, JT. 2 seconds remaining. This will be the final play of the first half. 2nd and 4. Clements again, hands it off. This is Zacchaeus, plunges forward for a few, and that is how the first half will end. We are all tied at 21. LaSalle and St. Joseph's Prep in what is sure to be a monster second half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with a halftime report here on the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Welcome back to SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Ari Bluestein, Jeremy Treatment here with you. Wow, a heck of a first half. We're all tied at 21 between LaSalle and St. Joseph's Prep, and we'll take a look at a few of the first half stats in just a moment. You see the scoreboard. It's been a phenomenal game. There's the stats right there. Jack Clements has had a pretty efficient first half. He did have the interception, but he did also have a touchdown. It's kind of a meaningless interception when you look at it. There's going to be a turnover on downs. DeAndre Swift, 5 carries for 85 yards. No touchdowns for him, but he has really set up the Preps offense down inside Explorer territory.
I agree. Clements is playing very well, and I think he's the difference between St. Joe Prep being a state championship contender, a Catholic League championship contender, and just being an also-ran that lost 3 straight games here in the early going. His improvement has been the big key for St. Joe Prep in my mind. DeAndre Swift's been playing terrific. 5 carries, 85 yards, and a couple of real nice catches and a couple of nice kickoff returns. LaSalle, Shermer, I mean, statistically, there you see it. He's doing it, 15 for 22.
And he also has a rushing
yards.
touchdown, too.
Yeah, he has a rushing touchdown. Meacham's been so impressive. The defense is really keying on Heron. They don't want Heron to score any more of those touchdowns. He already has 12 coming in after 6 games. So far, he's been kept out of the end zone. He does have 2 catches, but Meacham's been the best all-around player for LaSalle. I also like what Brady brings to them offensively and defensively with some real intensity and hard-nosed football.
Right, and you can see right there 112 total yards for Jordan Meacham. He has a receiving touchdown. He has 6 receptions for 58 yards and 7 carries for 54 yards. So that's a lot of touches for Meacham, and we haven't really seen a lot for Jimmy Heron.
Well, Heron doesn't necessarily get the most touches, but he makes the biggest plays. He makes the biggest catches. If they need a big play in the second half, you're going to see them go to Heron. I'm surprised they didn't look for him for at least 1 home run try, because he is a deep threat down the field, deceptively fast, and he's got great hands. He never seems to drop the ball. He even caught the one pass where he got whacked right in the helmet, and they got the penalty, and almost like a basketball and one on that type of a play. But it's been a pretty evenly matched game, and it's been a pretty evenly played game as St. Joe Prep watched LaSalle tied up here in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have really played phenomenal, and that's why we have the 21-21 score. And, we'll keep it right here, JT. Let's talk about some of the other games going on around today and this weekend. Let's stay in the Catholic League. Roman and Judge, they played a pretty good game, and Roman came out on top 20-14. And you know what the ironic thing was, JT? It was that both quarterbacks in that game got hurt, and the backups had to come in and finish off the game.
I think 5 quarterbacks ended up playing in the game, and one of them was not really a quarterback. John Chaney threw a pass out of a halfback option to win the game on a 40-yard touchdown. So Roman's got a lot of weapons, and big win for them because they took a crushing loss to Haverford last week.
But they won when it counted. They won in league play, and we'll see how 4A plays out between Roman and Judge, LaSalle and St. Joe Prep. Now over in 4A in the public league, a monster game today. Franklin and Washington both undefeated. You have to think Washington was the one who was favored in that game, but Franklin was the one that came out on top 20-14 in overtime. Just a big win for the Electrons, and Kevin Caldwell, a big quarterback there.
Kevin Caldwell is tied with Shermer for the most touchdowns thrown this year in the Philadelphia area. He's been outstanding. He's only 5'9" or 5'10", but he's really played well. And the interesting about Franklin is they've gone 2 straight weeks in these exciting nail-biting games. They lost one in Northeast 50-49, I believe, a week ago, and they're able to pull this one off. And, I mean, a lot of people were writing them off at the beginning of the year. Ron Cohen told us 5 or 6 weeks ago, Ben Franklin's going to be very good this year. He was right, and they are very good.
I think the 50-49 game, that's King in Northeast. King came back to beat Northeast.
But did they play an overtime game in Northeast last week also?
I don't remember if it went to overtime or not. I think it did, actually, that King tied it up and sent it into overtime. That was a crushing loss for Northeast. But, yeah, Franklin, they were undefeated going into the game, and they look really good. You mentioned Caldwell. Yeah, Shermer is 6'4", going to Vanderbilt. Caldwell's 5'9", getting some maybe D1, AA, D2 type of looks, but he has done a phenomenal job. And the Electrons, I think right now, to me, they're the favorite to win 4A in the public league right now.
They really could be. I mean, they're playing very well. They got a solid defense, and they've experience now playing in these tight games, so when they get in one, when all the marbles, when it's for all the marbles a little later on, at least they have the experience of been playing in these close games with Northeast, King, et cetera, and Washington.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes till we start the second half. We're going to take a timeout. Thank you for watching the Halftime Report here on the Sports Fanbase Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. LaSalle, 21. St. Joseph's Prep, 21. Wow, we've got a great second half ahead for you here on the Sports Fanbase Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Ari Stein, Jeremy Treatman with you. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922.
Welcome back to SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. You see the LaSalle huddle getting ready to go, and both teams are out. Looks like we are about ready to start half number 2. We are tied at 21. LaSalle, St. Joseph's Prep in what is probably the biggest game of the year here in the Philadelphia area. And JZ, I know we've talked about it a few times. You've done these games for a number of years now. This is really, truly living up to its rivalry right about now.
It sure is, and I'm not sure it's any better or any worse than last week's game with LaSalle and Archbishop Wood, which was played in front of a crowd very similar to this.
Right.
Went 35-31 down to the wire, and LaSalle pulls it out with an incredible comeback. This game looks like it's more even keel. St. Joe Prep did have the 14-point lead, looked to be in control, but I don't think there's going to be any control for one team over the other until it says 0-0-0 at the end of the game and one team is winning. I think that's how both coaches are going to take it. So I think it's going to be high scoring. I think both teams are going to score 2 or 3 more times here in the second half, and perhaps the team that has the ball last is going to win the football game.
Well, LaSalle will get the ball to start half number 2. They kicked it off to start the game, and St. Joe Prep scored a touchdown, so we'll see if LaSalle can match that. And, you know, Kyle Shermer's had a nice first half. We mentioned 15 of 22, 127, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. So he's really had a really nice game so far. And St. Joe Prep, the surprise to me for St. Joe Prep has been the play of Jack Clemens. I know he had that interception that was kind of meaningless at the end of that one drive that would have been a turnover on downs, but he's been pretty accurate, and he's put the ball in places where his receivers could get it, like on that really nice catch that was our in good hands catch of the game by John Reed.
Absolutely. Jack Clemens has stayed in that pocket, has had a really nice pocket presence. He looks like a real big-time high school quarterback right now. He looked shaky in the beginning of the game. I'm not going to sugarcoat. He looks so much better. It's a little difficult to come in and have to play national teams for your first opportunities. He did get some playing time last year when Chris Martin went down at the end of the year before the playoff run, but he's really, really played well. And, you know, St. Joe Prep, they need to have top-level quarterback to get them where they want to go, and right now I think they're developing one.
As we mentioned, St. Joseph's Prep and Big John Runyon will kick off here to start half number 2. LaSalle will get the ball.
Incidentally, Chris Martin, who he replaced here, is playing quarterback for Johns Hopkins this year, which was a surprise. He went to college, originally played baseball. It looked like after he led St. Joe Prep to that championship, that was going to be the end of his football career, but he's playing football at Johns Hopkins.
Good return by Ranella across the 30, pushed out of bounds by John Reed. But again, a pretty good return by Ranella up to about the 31.
One of my favorite parts about high school football is that all the really good players play special teams as well. So they're on the field almost every single play. A lot of these guys aren't just going 2 ways, they're going 3 ways.
And John Reed all over the field. He's one of the guys you just mentioned. He's going to be a DB at Penn State, but he certainly has some skills on special teams and offense as well.
Yeah, he hasn't really got it going offensively in this
game.
And that's one surprise. Even when we saw him at Don Bosco Prep, I thought he was going to be a jump-out year for him offensively with the staff. The year is, we're not even halfway into the year.
Shermer hands it off to Meacham inside. Big hole. And he's finally brought down by St. Joe's number 17, Justin Montague, but another first down for Jordan Meacham.
Yeah, Montague with a really nice tackle that time into the secondary. Meacham comes in there with a burst. He's shown a lot of Darren Sproles today, coming out of the backfield, catching passes, running hard out of the backfield. Real nice dual threat.
Meacham now 8 carries, 67 yards. Shermer in the shotgun. St. Joe Prep showing blitz. Shermer with a quick slant to Ranella. Gets up to about midfield.
Boy, that was a pretty good check off by the quarterback, Shermer. He saw the extra pressure coming. Linebacker was coming in, giving a 5-man rush. Quick slant there. That's a tough catch. It's all execution on a play like that.
Second down and 4 for LaSalle. Shotgun. Play action. Shermer down the seam, and it's caught. And with the ball's on the ground. I think it was picked back up, and indeed it was. Charles Hampshire, who made a great catch, fumbled the ball, but then picked it up in stride, and that actually advanced them a few yards.
There's a really nice play action. Freeze the linebacker with the fake handoff, and then you throw over the linebacker before the safety, and that pass was right there. Really nice play call that time by Coach Gordon.
35 yards on the completion. Shermer slings it to the outside. Knocked away. Nice job. That's John Reed on the deflection. I believe that was intended for Ranella.
Yeah, there's some miscommunication. Shermer, Hearn, and Ranella all talking. Incidentally, Shermer played at St. Edward in Lakewood, Ohio 2 years ago before coming over to LaSalle. He's a swimmer at the team. So he came into practice last year, really didn't even know any of the guys, had just moved into the Philadelphia area along with his dad, Coach Shermer from the Philadelphia Eagles. And Coach Gordon really feels it took taking him a whole year to get acclimated with this team and with the school.
Meacham up the gut, met by a couple of Hawk defenders. Couple of yards on the gain for Meacham up to about the 13-yard line. That'll set up a 3rd and long.
Still getting a nice push, although that time St. Joe Prep's defense was pretty solid. Well, they're calling for 8. I thought he was closer to 5 yards.
Yeah, I had him down for a couple of yards there up to about the 13-yard line. 3rd and 8 here for Shermer and the Explorers. Shermer looking on the move. Tuck it and run. And he slides forward to about the 5, maybe the 6 actually. And he's going to be close to a 1st down. He might be a yard short.
Right. So will they go for it here, or are they going to bring Savage in for the field goal? I think they're going to go for it.
Well, Shermer's not coming off the field, so I think you're right there, JT. What do you think? Just a QB sneak right here? Let Shermer take it himself? Or do you give it to Meacham or Ranella?
I think you're going to get Brady right here.
Yeah, Brady's in the backfield, number 44. Yeah, it's Brady. Dives forward, and he's got it. And he dives forward just inside the 5 to about the 4 for a couple of yards. But that's all he needed. And it's going to be a 1st and goal for LaSalle.
Nice push. Garnowski, Garvin, Morrissey. All up front. Henrik. Doing a nice push for LaSalle's offensive line.
First down and goal at the 5. And there's going to be a flag. Probably going to be on LaSalle.
And Ryan Schuta, number 68, is the other member of that offensive line, doing a nice job. Number 68. See him there in your picture.
Oh, and before the play, they're going to say LaSalle called the timeout. So we'll take a break. 1st and goal coming up next here on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. 21-21 is your score. LaSalle looking to take their first lead of the game. 1st and goal from the 5. Shermer hands it off inside. Brady, he was yanked back, but a nice job. That was 34, Armin Ware there on the tackle.
And Jake Strain, number 10, on one of the other linebackers, also doing a nice job.
2nd and goal here for LaSalle.
It's tough to take on a runner coming up with that kind of steam and taking off the lineman who's right in front of you. You got to block off the lineman and make the tackle. Not an easy play.
Shotgun formation, play clock winding down. 4-3, they get it off. Shermer inside to Ranella. Slips one tackle, but he can't get through the line.
Alec Dirks, 44, pounding in there from the linebacker spot again. Delilius also, 41.
I'll bring up 3rd and goal.
That'll be really interesting to see if they don't get a yard or two here, if they go for the field goal. They're at about the 4-yard line right now.
Shermer's in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, but it's a tight formation.
I think they're going to go Heron to the left corner.
Play action. Shermer runs, and I don't think he got there. He stopped at about the 2. Not sure if that was a broken play or not.
No,
Shermer kind of hesitated.
It was a
little
read
bit.
option. He wanted to see what he had first. He had another option there. But I think he wanted to run it the whole time. But
So now you've got a decision to make, and I believe the kicking team is going to come on.
yeah, Dirks and Harris in on the tackle that time. Sean Harris, a 5'10 junior, got him from the front. Dirks got him from behind.
Yeah, I think this is a good decision here. Savage is going to come on and kick it.
Can't leave points out there. You got to take the
Absolutely.
points. You got to
Absolutely.
take the points.
Tie game, take the points. Snap, good hold. The kick is up. And it is through.
Now look who had the lead.
Yes, we just mentioned LaSalle was looking to take the lead for the first time today, and indeed they have. And they have scored 17 unanswered to take the 24-21 lead.
What was my pregame prediction? I think LaSalle by 3, but again, it's
There's
way
6:41 left in the third quarter,
I know,
JT.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, man.
I don't want to lose all my St. Joe Prep fans.
Now, if we had LaSalle Wood, if we were covering that game, if we talked about, 31-14 in the third
I
quarter.
picked LaSalle by 4 in that game.
Oh, yeah, sure you did.
Yeah, sure I did.
So the field goal is good by Savage.
I think the 3 of them are pretty even, and I'd love to see Imhotep Charter play one of them this year.
Well, I think they're going to get to play Wood in the 3A city title game.
That
There's
could very well happen.
a
That'll
good
be
chance.
interesting. That'll
Yeah.
be interesting. Love to see Coatesville and Pennsbury, see how they match up. But some of these teams, the Interact teams are playing these really good Catholic schools, which is great to see.
Right, well, now they are into league play, so we'll see how it comes out on top. Haverford School probably the favorite at this point, but Malvern, Episcopal even, SEH Academy. I know we talked about Springside, Chestnut
I
Hill.
covered their game 2 weeks ago. Springside, Chestnut Hill is very good.
Pat Dooley, right, their quarterback.
Yeah, he's doing a
Very
nice job.
talented guy.
They got a sophomore running back. Sair's the first name. He rushed for almost 300 yards the day I was there.
24-21. Kicking it away is Razak, and it's going to bounce, and it's going to bounce just out of bounds, just shy of the pylon. And St. Joe Prep will start at the 35.
Good decision by Swift. I thought it was a little chancy he wasn't picking the football up, but he made the right choice. Although knowing how much he likes to pick it up and run, I'm surprised he didn't do that.
So good field position here for the Hawks as they trail for the first time in this game. Now, Plymouth White Marsh High School, JT, is the home of both of these teams, but tonight it is the Prep's home game, and I believe this is only their second home game of the year. I don't know if they have another home game the rest of the year, to be honest
Prep
with you.
does not.
Yeah.
Not sure about LaSalle, but Prep does not. LaSalle plays one at Springfield High School nearby.
1st and 10 from their own 35. Trips to the near side. Clements hands it off inside. It's Swift trying to bounce it to the outside. He's being pursued by a number of LaSalle Explorers, and Meacham is the one who turns him around and whips him out of bounds. Loss of 2 on the play there for Swift.
Wow, really good pursuit by those LaSalle linebackers. No room to run that time.
Actually calling it a loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13. 32 for St. Joe Prep Hawks.
What do you got for Swift? 82 for the day?
Yeah, 6 for 82 I've got right now. He had a couple of huge runs, the 53-yarder and the 25-yarder early in the game. Clements. Oh, and the ball's on the ground. The ball's on the ground. Who has it? Looks like the Prep might have got it back. Yeah, so it'll be third
nobody
down.
on LaSalle is indicating they have the football.
It'll be third down.
But that's a busted play. It
Yes,
hurts.
it
You
is.
lose yardage, you lose it down. And LaSalle's defense gaining confidence.
Well, LaSalle, after they gave up that third touchdown and the Prep scored on their first 2 possessions, and then after they punted, scored on their 4th drive. And since then, they have been pretty quiet. 3rd and 16, Clements stepping up, and he is sacked. Ball's on the ground, and this time LaSalle has it. LaSalle has it, and the Explorers will have the ball inside the 30 of St. Prep. I believe that was 71 Sean Collins who recovered the fumble for the Explorers.
It is Sean Collins with the recovery. The sack came, the ball came loose, and boy, quick hands of Collins picking it up. And Clements, if you want to forgive him for the mistake at the end of the first half, because it was a 4th down play anyway, no big deal. But this one hurts for St. Joe Prep because now LaSalle in great position, and I think the fans are a little fired up over there.
I would be too. I mean, this is the 2nd consecutive week where they've come back from 2 touchdowns at least down to take the lead. Now, can they hold on? Can they punch it in here? We shall see.
Like I said, 5:43 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lots of time.
Meacham. Nice job by the St. Joe Prep defense not to allow him to get to the outside. That was number 4, Nick Vanderveer, on the stop for the Hawks.
Real nice play by Vanderveer. That's a tough tackle. Meacham was 3 quarters by him, and he was able to grab the leg and bring him down.
2nd and 8 for the Explorers.
Hearn lining up right. He's been blanketed by John Reed this whole game with safety help from Walls.
Shermer, shotgun. Now across the middle. Finds Hemsher. And he advances close to a 1st down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and maybe a yard.
Well, one thing that Heron's doing is he's helping spread out the field, kind of the Deshaun Jackson effect. He's way outside. You're taking away John Reed, one of your best defenders and quickest guys, and you got the safety constantly looking over there to help. Flags everywhere here.
That's going to be a false start there on LaSalle. So it was 3rd and maybe a half a yard. Now pushing back makes it a tougher 3rd down to get here for the Explorers. It'll be on the 21-yard line. See the Prep defense trying to make a stand. The Explorers have scored 17 unanswered on them, dating back to the middle of the 1st half. Shotgun, trips to the near side. Shermer looking that way. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to run, and he's got the 1st down, and he's tackled down around near the 10-yard line, and the Explorers get a 1st down.
It's really nice when your quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, and he makes a real nice read and runs in the middle of the field right there. Shermer showing some experience. A real nice play right there. Good read. Keep it yourself. Run, get the 1st down. Go down safely. Don't turn the ball over.
First and 10 from about the 12-yard line for LaSalle. Shermer, shotgun. Looks. And that's Meacham for a short gain up to about the 6-yard line.
You know, we've seen Shermer have a really effective game, but can you really remember one time he aired the ball out and we really got to see that big-time arm of his? It's a short passing game that LaSalle perfects. 5 guys going out in space. I haven't really seen him throwing the football more than 10 or 15 yards in the air.
Well, he hasn't really needed to, JT.
No, it's part of the game plan. It's working.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He has that in his repertoire, and we haven't even seen it.
Up the middle, Meacham walks into the end zone. Touchdown, 30-21 with the point after upcoming.
Wow, Meacham making it look easy. I think when you got that multi-dimensional offense, it really makes things difficult. St. Joe Prep has one and LaSalle has one, but right now LaSalle working on all cylinders. The turnovers, you know, in a game like this where both teams playing well, turnovers become a factor. Right now, 2 turnovers for St. Joe's Prep, none for LaSalle. That is a big factor in this contest.
Savage in for the point after. And it's good. 31-21 is your score.
It's 24 straight points scored by LaSalle.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and Jordan Meacham, his second touchdown of the day. His first one was in the air. Second one was on the ground. He's got 11 carries for 77 yards and 7 catches for 64 yards. What a phenomenal day here. That's 141 total yards for Meacham and 2 touchdowns. And you know what's so funny? I'll go back to what we talked about on SFBN Talks High School Sports on the Comcast Network. Aaron Ace Carter from the Daily News said Meacham would be the X factor, and man, he really has been. When I'm sure the prep was really keying in on Heron, I'm sure LaSalle knew that, and Meacham has had himself a heck of a game.
Well, Meacham's coming in with 7 touchdowns and 700 overall yards. It's not like...
Well, no, I know.
I know, but I mean, Heron's getting all the news because he came up with the 3 great catches against Wood. That's for absolute sure, but... Well, you're right. Even at the outset, we were talking about, you know, the incredible matchup between the quarterback and the wide receiver, the synergy they've had so far this year with all the touchdowns. But Meacham really has been the guy they can't stop.
Well, he's had a phenomenal game on the ground and in the air. And here is the kick. This is Walls. And he's going to be wrestled down. Brady's in there on the stop for LaSalle. Gets to about the 27. And that's where the prep will take over. Now you look at the prep's last few drives. You had the interception, which really could have been a turnover on downs. They had a nice drive, but it stopped. A punt on a 3-and-out, and then the end of the half after a couple of run plays. And then the fumble just now. So really, the prep have been pretty ineffective with a couple of turnovers and a punt, and, of course, the end of the half after scoring touchdowns on 3 of their first 4 drives.
I think the pressure they're putting on the quarterback is the difference. If you see, looks like they're throwing 1 extra guy up to rush. Looks like 5 guys are rushing every play instead of 4.
Inside handoff. Nice takedown. That's Aiden Kerrigan, the star linebacker for LaSalle.
Zacchaeus, a nice run.
That's a gain of about 8, 2nd and 2. Is Zacchaeus. That's his longest run of the night. 5 carries, 19 yards for Olamide. Here he is again. Breaks through the line, and he advances up to about the 46, and that's a first down.
That's exactly what St. Joe Prep needs to do. Pound that line, pound that football. Run up the middle of the field, see what you can do.
Yeah, they kind of went away from that a little bit, trying to get Clements to throw the ball a little bit more. Now maybe go back to the bread and butter of Swift and Zacchaeus. And right now Clements is in the shotgun. Zacchaeus is the lone setback.
Billy Boyle, one of the guys blocking up for St. Joe Prep.
There's Zacchaeus with a minimal gain right there as he dives forward. 59, McDermott on the tackle for LaSalle. A couple of yards for Zacchaeus.
Shane Davis playing both ways today, coming off an injury for St. Joe Prep. He's been a big factor. Billy Boyle, big 6'2", 225-pound tight end, getting some action blocking for Prep. Running on the left side, trying to run a lot of things by him. They're doing it right now.
To Swift in motion across the 50, dives forward, close to another first down. He might have got it. He's in Explorer territory at the 45, gain of 7.
Uh-oh, we got an injury.
There is an injured player down on the field. That's a LaSalle Explorer. And while they take a look at him on the field, we'll step away real quick here on SFBN. We've got 3rd and 1 coming up as St. Joe Prep trying to answer the 24 straight points from LaSalle. We'll be back. 3rd and 1, that was Matthew McDermott. That was the injured player. He did walk off on his own power, but he will have to step out on this crucial 3rd and short. Clements to Reed. Ooh, and he is hit hard, but he gets across the yard to gain, and it's a first down for the Prep.
Yeah, Ryan Shuda hit him hard, but not before St. Joe Prep gets a first down. This is a very, very effective line. The offensive line is just pushing LaSalle down the field. They're getting great runs. Great reads by the running backs following their offensive linemen. They're finding the holes, following their blockers, and this is a real good ball control, time-consuming drive, and this is the kind that Prep needs right here. They need to get this game within 3 points right now.
Zacchaeus is in motion. The hand goes to Olamide. On the outside, we've got a flag. I think that's coming back. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. A gain of about 7. But I think that's coming back.
Kerrigan maybe. I know Kerrigan made the tackle. Looks like they got Ed
That's
Moody.
going to be a hold.
Ed Moody, number 64, I think, was the guilty party. Charlie Hall-Soppel also in the game, a 6'4 junior up on that line, 240-pounders, blocking very well today. John Daniel Runyon, of course, the leader of that offensive line, 6'6", 285-pound senior, headed to Michigan. Dad, I believe, is here. Yeah, he's on the sideline for St. Joe Prep.
Hey, you can't miss him. He's head and shoulders above everybody.
Yeah, he's at the 30-yard line. He's, of course, played for the Eagles for many, many years and just gave up his Congress post in New Jersey.
First and about 20 here for the Hawks. Clements keeps it. Wow, that's a nice little run by Clements. We've seen his athleticism a couple of times.
Well, he ran for the 2 touchdowns last week and threw for 3. I think that was a big confidence boost for him.
Gained 9 on that play. He now has 4 carries for 26 yards.
Wow, Clements is out of the game right here. Looks like they got a wildcat call coming in.
Yeah. It's a keeper to the outside. It does not work. That was 15. Davion Kid Jackson, a freshman quarterback. And St. Joe Prep tries the trickery, but doesn't really work and end up losing yards, sets up a 3rd and long.
They're not using another timeout here. Oh, that was the end of the quarter. Okay.
Right, that is, yeah. The clock has expired here in quarter number 3 with the score. LaSalle 31, St. Joseph's Prep 21. But the Hawks are driving, but they've got a big 3rd and long coming up next here on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the sports fan-based network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Ari Bluestein, Jeremy Treatman here with you from Plymouth Whitemarsh as we open quarter number 4. Big 3rd down play here for the Hawks. They've got 5 wide receivers. Clements steps up in the pocket, goes across the middle. He's got Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus breaks 1 tackle, dives forward. He's inside the 5, and the Hawks are in business. Big time throw from Jack Clements.
Best throw of the night, really, I think, by either quarterback. That throw was perfect. Hits Zacchaeus in stride right over the linebackers, right before the safety. You can't make a better throw than that. And Zacchaeus really didn't have a choice. He just ran under the ball. Real nice play call.
43-yard pass completion to Olamide Zacchaeus. And he now has 84 yards through the air. Handoff, Swift. And he tries to push his way through, but he gets up to about the 2, and that's about it.
Wow, this is a fantastic football game. St. Joe Prep able to punch it in here. We've really got ourselves a football game headed into this 4th quarter. I think this is the most impressive drive St. Joe Prep has had all game.
Yeah, it's the longest drive in terms of plays.
Well, they really controlled the line of scrimmage, controlled the ball, controlled the clock.
By my account, this is play number 11 for the Hawks here on this drive. Inside handoff, Dumond. He's in. Touchdown, Joe Dumond. That's his 2nd of the night, his 1st on the ground.
Dumond's really been a factor. He's been a finisher around the goal line. There was high school fantasy football. He'd be a good pickup this week.
A lot of these guys in this game would be good pickups this week.
Guys.
Jordan Meacham, yeah. And not to mention.
They're the stars. I'm looking at guys you don't normally hear about making the big plays.
Yeah, he would be a good waiver wire acquisition, I guess you could say. Extra point, John Daniel Runyon boots it through.
How important is John Michael Runyon's foot also with the 4 extra points?
Now John Daniel Runyon going to Michigan next year, not as a kicker, but he has accounted for 4 of the points. We've got a 31-28 lead. The St. Joe Prep student section pumped up. Man, as you mentioned, this has been a phenomenal football game, and now we're down to a one-score game here, and now LaSalle, they've got to answer, and this is the most important defensive possession of the game for the St. Joe Prep Hawks.
It sure is, and again, turnovers become factors down the stretch in close football games in the second half. Mistakes, penalties. When, it's really been kind of a mistake-free. I believe there's 5 penalties or less in the contest, and fortunately just the one injury to LaSalle. And he got up. I think that was 68 McGarity, right?
That was number 59, McDermott.
McDermott.
Yes.
Okay, McDermott. And he walked off with his own power, which was great to see. But it's been a really cleanly played football game.
Yeah, it has. And, it's been you think about rivalry games sometimes. You think about, like, Eagles-Giants, for example, coming up on Sunday night. That's going to be like a dirty, grinded-out game. This is a rivalry that both teams respect each other, and you can see it on the field. It's a very competitive and respectful atmosphere. Kickoff from John Daniel Runyon. This is Ranella. Makes a move across the 30, goes across to the 37. So yet again, LaSalle with some decent field position thanks to Nick Ranella.
He's a very good returner. I mean, he's making, they're not getting to the 35-yard line because St. Joe Prep's not trying or doesn't have good pursuit. They have good pursuit. They're playing the lanes, but they just run behind the edge there, do such a nice job. Oh, boy, is that Ranella? Hopefully this is just a hamstring.
Yeah, that is Ranella. And he is down.
Hoping
it's just a cramp there.
I think they're just stretching him out. Can't afford to lose him, but more importantly, you don't want to see a real serious injury from anybody.
Well, while they're taking a look at him, we'll step away real quick here. SFBN presented by Payroll Service Solutions. 10:51 to go. You see the score right there. We've got a heck of a game for you. Do not go anywhere. 1st and 10 for LaSalle. Shermer to the outside. This is Heron. Heron breaks a tackle. Dives forward. That's a first down. That's the first time we've said Jimmy Heron's name in a little bit.
Yes, third catch. Quick out to him. Let him do the rest. Deceptively fast, quick, shifty. It's the fourth quarter. It's his time. This is when he shines.
Well, he certainly shined last game. 11-yard completion to Heron. 4 catches, 27 yards for Heron. 1st and 10. The handoff is to Meacham to the outside. Cuts it up inside now. First down. I think that was number 2, Thomas Johnson, who clipped him on the legs, but he got first down. Dives forward close to the 41.
Well, it's interesting. LaSalle's answering St. Joe Prep's great drive with a drive of their own.
Oh, there's actually a flag on the field.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be a hold on LaSalle.
Wow, late flag. Didn't see that one coming.
No, I didn't see it. I guess, in the fray. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So push them back into their own territory. Down to about the 43.
It's interesting in a game like this with such a huge crowd, the chants that you hear inside the Palestra during a LaSalle St. Joe Prep or Roman game, the fans really get at each other. They don't get at each other at all in a game, in an atmosphere like this, which is really nice to see.
1st and 16. Up the gut, but falling to the ground. I believe that was Meacham, who dove right at about the 45, gain of a couple. That was Meacham's 12th carry, 79 yards. Second and about 13. Shermer shotgun yet again. Wide receiver screen again to Jim Heron. Heron makes a move across midfield. Gets down close to the Hawk 45, down to about the 46. It's a 9-yard pass completion.
Winston Eubanks, a junior, 12 catches at 144 coming in. Has only 1 catch today for LaSalle. It's usually a bigger factor in the offense, but they haven't really looked his way. He caught a ball in the first quarter.
3rd down and 4. The St. Joe faithful getting into it here. Shermer, plenty of time. On the move, being chased, and he is sacked. He is thrown down by Jake Strain, the senior defensive lineman, and LaSalle will probably be forced to punt. That's a huge sack.
Coverage sack that time. The defensive backs were all blanking the LaSalle players. That is a coverage sack. The secondary caused that because he had initial time to throw, and Shermer just couldn't find anybody open.
So now LaSalle will have to punt after the sack.
Thought I heard some whistles. Yes, I did.
And I believe the penalty is going to go against the Prep. Still, it's certainly a punting situation for LaSalle. 8:21 remaining, so there's still plenty of time. Even if the Prep were to come down and score here, LaSalle will still have time, most likely, to come back and answer.
There's going to be 2 scores each before this one's over.
I guess we'll see. Oh, Razak barely got out of the way after he couldn't handle the snap. Oh, and it takes a friendly Explorer bounce. And it's going to be downed inside the 15 at about the 12-yard line. So that could have spelled disaster right there, as Razak just had trouble handling that snap.
I don't know how he got that one off.
Yeah.
Well, we saw the St. Joe Prep punter go through it twice, got one partially blocked and one barely off. So St. Joe Prep's got a chance to march down 88 yards here, take the lead, or tie the game with a field goal.
That's true, too. John Daniel Runyon.
I mean, he has a huge responsibility as a kicker on this team right now.
Clements going to work, working out of the shotgun. Inside handoff. Oh, and a big time takedown right there by the LaSalle Explorers. That was 58, Keith Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner's been quiet today, but he was able to get into a seam that time, fill a gap, and just bring down the defender. The center's been wiping him out of most plays.
2nd and 10. Audible from the sideline.
Trying to find where Infante is on the sideline. There he is at the 30-yard line.
Clements is going to keep it himself on the option. Spins to about the 15. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 4-yard gain for Clements.
Wonder what they saw that made them go read option right there. You know, you got Reed. No pun intended. Reed's also an option.
Right.
You got Reed and Swift out on the flat. Got a lot of speedy guys out there. Let's see if they can get it to one of them.
Oh, and Coach Infante is going to call a timeout. That's a smart timeout. You got to get this play off, and that is their first timeout used. And we'll step away real quick here on SFBN. Big 3rd down play coming up for St. Joe Prep. You're watching SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Clements in the shotgun, 3rd and 7, following the Prep timeout. Clements, plenty of time, going deep for Swift. Oh, what a play. That's going to be our stall agency play of the game. Very well could have won our in good hands play of the game. Monster play by DeAndre Swift. Stall Bonds and Insurance specializes in the construction business industry. For all your bonding and construction insurance needs, please go to their website, www.stolllagency.com.
Love that pattern. I was watching Swift, had the one-on-one coverage with the linebacker. Safety came over late. Clement couldn't have made a better throw. He's been two great throws here in the fourth quarter.
Handoff up the gut. And that was Swift going nowhere.
Well, that wheelhouse throw, that was just tremendous.
I mean, that was perfect placement, and Swift going up to get that. That was a phenomenal catch.
Well, when the offensive player knows the ball is coming, the defensive player doesn't. He's got the advantage when to go up. Took the ball at the highest apex right there.
And that keeps the drive going and puts the Hawks in good position here. Clements looking, going through his progressions and overthrows John Reed.
And that was a little dangerous because he had a secondary player there just waiting to pick it off, but not able to get that one for LaSalle was Mike Crone, the safety.
Well, now we've got another 3rd and long situation here for the Prep, 3rd and 10. I would have to think they're probably going to go for it on 4th, depending on how far they advance here. They've got to get up to midfield for the first down. They're just at about the midway point here in quarter number 4. 3rd and 10 for the Prep.
Huge play.
4 receivers. Clements, plenty of time. Across the middle, and it's again DeAndre Swift. First down and more. And he is brought down inside the 25-yard line, and the Hawks are in business thanks to Jack Clements and DeAndre Swift.
That wasn't even play action. Nobody to fool. Everybody knew he was throwing the football, and he made about as good a throw as you could make again. And I apologize for if it seemed a little critical of Clements in the end of the second quarter, early in the third, but he has made amends with some fantastic throws.
Clements up, flags fly. Going to be against the Prep, probably push them back a few yards. Indeed it is. Well, you got to credit the St. Joe Prep offensive line, too. They've done a phenomenal job giving Clements time, especially on those last 2 big third-down passing plays.
They did. You knew that LaSalle was bringing the house, and they were still able to protect. Has really come of age in this game. Breakout game for him.
4 receptions, 74 yards, 9 carries, 91 yards for the sophomore, DeAndre Swift. Jack Clements, shotgun, he lost the ball. Passes, and he completes it to John Reed somehow. And he's down at about the 15.
Wow, Prep's last 2 drives, so impressive. And again, we talked about who gets the ball last has a great chance to win. I mean, if Prep is able to score here, then LaSalle's going to have that opportunity to come from behind and win. But again, there's a lot of yardage to go. 15 yards here to tie on a field goal, 15 yards here to win it with a touchdown or to go ahead with a touchdown.
2nd and 3 for the Prep. Clements going to keep it himself up the gut. First down and more, and it's going to set up a first goal for the Hawks.
Well, this is definitely Clements' breakout game. We know he played great against Malvern Prep, but to play great against one of the big guys, an Archbishop Wood, a LaSalle, a Roman, a big local rival, and nothing bigger than LaSalle, Clements would love to be the hero in this one. But I'm sure anybody on St. Joe Prep would love to see a touchdown right here. Doesn't matter who scores it.
The handoff to Walls. Spins. And it's going to be 2nd and goal. He stopped just shy of the goal line.
It's interesting how the ball is shared. It doesn't matter what the situation. Walls hasn't touched the ball here in the second half, and he gets the biggest carry of the game right there, Ari.
Well, he's had a couple of goal line carries.
Yeah, he has.
Clements with the sneak. Is he in? Touchdown. Jack Clements with the 1-yard rush, and the Prep has retaken the lead here midway through quarter number 4.
If Runyon makes this extra point, it'll be the same score as that Wood St. Joe Prep score, the Wood LaSalle score of a week ago, 35-31. 4:13's a lot of time, and you know LaSalle has that ability to march up and down the field.
Well, when you've got a quarterback like Kyle Shermer, you certainly can. All-important extra point. Wow, it's a high one, but it's good.
And you know it's a huge extra point because it takes the field goal out of the equation.
Exactly
it's
right.
It's a huge extra point.
It makes it a touchdown game, and the LaSalle College High School Explorers will have to go all the way down the field. Now, you have the kickoff coming up here. Nick Brunell has done a decent job to get the Explorers in good field position. This is a pretty important kickoff right here.
Of course it is. I mean, this is crunch time. Every play is important right now. 4:13 to go. You think about about it, Runyon, who's obviously not the team's kicker, he has made 5 extra points today. They're winning by 4. He's the difference in the game, technically. It's no
You
small,
can look at it that way.
It's no small thing to have your kicker on a primetime team go down, and you need somebody to knock your extra points through.
And we've seen that in the public league a number of times where there's not necessarily a kicker on the team. They've got to go for 2. They can't get it, and they lose by 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you saw that, I believe, Washington Northeast. That was the difference.
Temple football won 2 games last year. If they had a kicker who could make an extra point or a field goal, they would have won 5 games. So it's a very big part of football.
All right, so Runyon will kick it off.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not rooting, but I'm just saying if LaSalle does score, they could conceivably win by a field goal. But, there's still a ton of time, even if they do score.
Ranella takes it at about the 14. And he's out of bounds at about the 20, so a nice kick by Runyon to not allow Ranella to get into open space.
And great special teams coverage by St. Joe Prep. They have really come up big here in the latter parts of the fourth quarter, led by their quarterback, Clements, who really played well. 3 great throws. 1 to Zacchaeus, 2 to Swift. They're able to get the touchdown, move the football.
Well, Kyle Shermer's going to have to go a long way, about 80 yards. Actually, they're going to spot it at the 21, so 79 yards. And Shermer can do it. He certainly can.
They were in the same spot last week against Archbishop Wood.
Shermer across the middle. Ooh! That went off the hands of his receiver, Brendan Meeks. Very easily could have been picked off by one of those St. Joe Prep defensive backs.
Boy, he hasn't gone to him very much in the game, as we mentioned, just one time in the first half. And I don't even know if he was expecting it, but he really had a lot of zip on that one. I would look for a wide receiver screen right here to Heron, try to get 5 or 6 yards.
2nd and 10. Flags
too
and
much
that's
time.
False start on Explorers. Second down and 15, and obviously if you have the Explorers, you do not want to go in the wrong direction here. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. And the St. Joe Prep side getting a little loud here. Shermer, plenty of time. Down the middle, and another drop pass, this time by Jimmy Heron. That's
When
2
does
drop passes
Jimmy
in a
Heron
row.
ever drop a pass? Oh, my goodness.
So a drop pass by Meeks. And a drop pass by Heron leads to a 3rd and 15.
I don't know if Meeks was a drop, but Heron absolutely was a drop.
The Prep crowd, they're getting into it. Shermer steps up, down the middle, and it's incomplete at the feet of Jimmy Heron. 4th and 15, and LaSalle has no choice but to punt here. And they'll give the ball back to the Hawks.
Wow, I was actually thinking,
Well, there's still 3:54 remaining.
and they have all 2 things.
They have 2 timeouts. So now you're really putting in the hands here of the LaSalle defense. They're going to have to come up with a stop.
Boy, I'm actually surprised. I guess you're kind of in a tough spot. You got to kick.
Yeah,
it,
you're way back in your own zone. But now here, this is going to be a great field position for the Hawks. DeAndre Swift makes a move, and he is tackled down near the Explorer 41, and the Prep can put this one away if they can score a touchdown right here on a short field.
Or if they can get enough first downs and use the 2 timeouts and run the clock out. But I think they would score before they did that. Boy, I would think that LaSalle would possibly want to go for it on that 4th down. That's a tough one.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, you hope that you at least put the Prep far enough back to maybe hold them to a field goal even, and that would make it a 1-touchdown game.
Well, let's see if Prep decides to play conservatively or maybe put the ball in the air on 3rd down.
Well,
you know they're going to run the ball on 1st But
Right. If LaSalle can come up with 3 stops and use their 2 timeouts,
That's true.
they
They-
can get the ball back with just under 3 minutes remaining.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. And if St. Joe Prep plays conservatively, that could happen.
Clements in the shotgun. In motion is Green. Handoff inside. This is Zacchaeus. Olamide Zacchaeus, first down and more. Well, that's not going to help LaSalle as Zacchaeus just went right through the line.
A risk when you give the ball back, but what are you going to do? It's a game of percentages. They stopped the clock for the first down. But now it's running again.
Gain of 17 for Zacchaeus. 9 carries, 49 yards, but even more importantly, 5 catches for 84 yards for Olamide.
Well, I think Clements' passing was really the key factor. He just played so well here in the second half after that fumble. After that third quarter fumble, he's played so well.
There's a run, really no gain right there.
LaSalle came into the game ranked number 1 in the state and 33rd nationally in max preps. Olamide Zacchaeus going to Virginia. Boy, he really showed some of his pass catching ability today.
St. Joe Prep letting the clock run, not surprisingly here. And now LaSalle's got to figure out when they're going to use their 2 timeouts. Play clock's down to 1. Here's a pass to the outside. That's 24. That's Terrence Green.
Should use a timeout right here, I would think.
Well, they're choosing not to. Oh, and now they do. So now the timeout is called by LaSalle.
But this will be very interesting if they could stop him here. Now you got to think that St. Joe Prep would also go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here on 3rd down.
Just a reminder, this has been a heck of a game. You can watch the replay on our website, www.thesportsfanbasenetwork.com. The replay will be on demand. And this is going to be a heck of a game to watch. That's our website right there. Make sure you visit us to find out all our information about our network, about our talk show, SFBN Talks on the Comcast Network, and just discover what SFBN is all about. And JT, it's a pleasure to have you a part of SFBN and our talk show, SFBN Talks.
No problem. When's the next one, by the way?
Every other Wednesday at 6 p.m., JT. The graphic was up earlier.
I know that.
We're in our 3rd year here, and this has probably been one of the biggest games that we've covered here on SFBN. 3rd and 7. Clements. He keeps it himself. He bowls forward. That's a first down. Big play by Jack Clements on the option, on the fake to DeAndre Swift, and Clements gets a first down, and JT, that should about do it.
I'll tell you, he went from looked like he was going to be the GOAT after that fumble in the 3rd quarter after the sack, and LaSalle went ahead, but he's been the hero.
You know, he played great to start off, and then we were talking about him in the 3rd quarter where he just wasn't performing that well, the fumble, but he's made 2 key throws and a couple of big runs as well, and the Hawks now are in position to just finish out the clock. LaSalle with only 1 timeout left. DeAndre Swift to run up the gut. LaSalle not taking the timeout yet. And now they do.
That's the final one.
That's the final timeout for LaSalle. We'll keep it right here on SFBN. Well, I know you keep trying to revisit your predictions, JT. I had the Prep by a touchdown. Not quite a touchdown, but I did have the Prep in this game.
No, you did. You did. And I was thinking Prep. And I changed my mind 10 million times, and it was that kind of game.
I mean, really, it could have gone either way. It really could have. And there's a ton of talent. And, you know, JT, these 2 teams are going to meet again in the 4A Catholic League Championship game. I firmly believe that. I think Roman and Judge can maybe give them a run. But these are the 2 best teams in the 4A level for the Catholic League. And it could really go the other way. LaSalle could beat them in the title game.
Oh, well, it's happened before. That has happened before. So, and it's very hard to team twice, as you know, especially a rival and somebody who's so good.
Clements keeps it. They're trying to push him in. I think that's a flag down on the field.
So the clock stops at 1:26.
Yeah, the flag stops it. And if this is against Prep, it stops the clock and it helps LaSalle. Although they get the down back, they get the yardage, right?
Right now, while we get the word on the penalty, we'll give out our Lloyd Sixsmith Sporting Goods player of the game. And there have been a lot of good players tonight, but the man that has really kept the Hawks in this game is DeAndre Swift. He's had a phenomenal game, 92 yards on the ground, 84 yards through the air. Actually, that's Zacchaeus, 74 yards through the air for DeAndre Swift, the standout sophomore. Lloyd Sixsmith Sporting Goods is the leading supplier of the Philadelphia Public League. Visit them today at 7554 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair for all of your sporting goods needs. Well, we really could have given it to a lot of different people. There's DeAndre Swift right there, number 7 on your screen. He had that huge catch. That was our Stall Agency play of the game, and that really set up the game-winning score.
That's true, it did. But the man, the number 6 in your picture, threw the football, and he's been great, too.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely has. And you can even look at LaSalle's side. Jordan Meacham had a phenomenal game as well. So a lot of great players tonight on both sides of the football. It's now down.
I still can't believe Heron dropped a pass, especially on the last drive, the last attempt.
St. Joe Prep's probably going to take the play clock down. We're down to about 7 seconds.
The St. Joe Prep student section going nuts.
Now, will these Prep fans run the field, do you think?
I don't know. And Clements dives forward, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the final play. The St. Joseph's Prep Hawks, they get the win, 35-31 over their rival, the LaSalle College High School Explorers. And what a game it has been. And ironically, the same score as the LaSalle Wood game last week, except LaSalle is on the losing side this time.
That shows how close all of them are. They're all within a play of each other. That's really how close they are. Outstanding football game. Congratulations to St. Joe Prep coming from behind and winning it after relinquishing a big lead early. LaSalle made an effort, but it's Prep that wins it. And you just saw two fantastic teams, arguably the two best teams around here. But there's a lot of other good teams, but these two are right at the top.
We're going to take a quick break here on SFBN. When we come back, we'll do a quick post-game wrap-up. Again, your final score, St. Joseph's Prep 35, LaSalle College High School 31. We'll be back to wrap it up here on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Hello and welcome to the Prep. My name is Jason Zichny. I'm a member of the class of 1990, and I'm the principal here at St. Joe's. St. Joe's Prep is a special place. There's a bonding among students. There's a brotherhood. It's an amazing opportunity for our students to feel loved and cared about and supported by one another, by our staff, by our teachers, by administrators. Cura personalis is the term. It means the care of the whole person, mind, heart, soul, character. It's really getting to know who our students are, both in and outside of the classroom. Our teachers are there to support our students. Our students are there to support each other. They come in as freshmen, as young boys, and they leave as these amazing young men. So enjoy this glimpse of our halls, classrooms, fields, and everything else that makes us St. Joe's Prep.
I'm Connor McGlynn. I'm on student council. I'm a varsity manager for the soccer team. I'm on the bowling team. I'm on the Ichthus ministry board, and I am the Prep.
My name is Samaj McDowell, class of 2015. I am involved in student council, peer mediation, and a JSU ambassador, and I am the Prep.
My name is Nick Friedlander, class of 2013. I'm a singer, editor, on student council, and I'm part of mission and ministry. I'm the prep.
My name is Kyle Miller. I'm the class of 2013. I'm involved in indoor and outdoor track, pre-prep, and freshman retreat, and I am the prep.
I'm John Hilferty. I'm a member of student council. I run cross country, and I'm in the Irish Culture Club, and I am the prep.
I'm Mike Rizzo, class of 2013. I live in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, and my activities include Captain of the Cape and Sword, leader of the Mission and Ministry, and Team Hawk. I am the prep.
I am the principal, and I am the prep.
I'm Jesuit Father George Burr. I'm from the prep class of 1959, and I have the pleasure of serving my alma mater as president. We're making a difference in the lives of students who have great desires, students who come from every strata of society. I have confidence that these young men can carry on the Jesuit legacy, a legacy that our alumni have made clear all over the Delaware Valley by showing themselves as men for others.
I am the prep.
Welcome back to SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. 35-31 is the final. St. Joseph's Prep defeats LaSalle College High School. What a phenomenal game, JT. And, final comments here on this great game between two very good teams and a great rivalry here in the Philadelphia area.
Well, when two great teams play, you want to see a great game. Sometimes you don't always get that. They don't always bring their best, but I thought they brought their best. Maybe LaSalle tired at the end just a little bit. St. Joe Prep was fresh. They made more plays at the end of the game. Quarterback Jack Clements stepped up, made some great throws. Swift coming out of the backfield made that terrific catch at the 40-yard line, keep the game-winning drive alive. LaSalle had an opportunity, got the ball back, but wasn't able to do anything and had to punt the football, which was very surprising. They went 3 and out, and Jimmy Herron dropped the ball, which I've never seen before. In crunch time, that guy is magic with the football, but not tonight. And you got to give St. Joe Prep's defense credit because at the end of the game, their defense really stood tall.
Yeah, and you went through a stretch where LaSalle's defense was the one that really stepped things up. But, in the end, St. Joe Prep, they made the plays that they needed to. And like you said, whoever had the ball was probably going to win. LaSalle had their opportunity, but ended up giving the ball last to the Hawks, and they come out on top.
Well, not the first time, but I turned out to be wrong. The team, I really did think the team that would get the ball last in a game like this was going to win. But the St. Joe Prep defense outplayed the LaSalle offense on that last key drive that was for all the marbles. LaSalle took a chance by not going for it on 4th and 15, punting the football back, not getting the ball back, which is kind of what I thought was going to happen. You got to play the percentages there. There's probably more of an opportunity of getting the ball back than converting on 4th and 15. Tough one, but at that point, LaSalle's offense wasn't mustering much anyway.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in here on the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. And a reminder that you can watch the replay on our website on our on-demand page. Should be up in about 24 to 48 hours from now. You don't want to miss it. If you missed any of the game, you definitely want to go back and watch the replay. So for my partner, Jeremy Treatman, I'm Ari Bluestein. A shout-out to our crew tonight. Our interns are Ray Dunn, Dan Wilson, Anthony DeBundo, Scott Weiss, Martin Weiss, Addison Hunsicker, and our director and engineer is Josh Bellman. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back.
Thank you for watching this edition of SFBN Classics. We hope you enjoyed that game. Please like our Facebook page and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. And for more information about us, go to www.thesfbn.com. I'm Ari Bluestein. Have a good night.